The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD Black, the Esports Club League for Rainbow Six Siege, powered by LG Ultragear, in association with ACD Fibernet, Zotac Gaming, and Games The Shop. I am your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Admin Foxy, and we are here for the beginning of the Division matches in Season 2. Today's game, of course, is a Division 3 set of games, and the first game we have for tonight is Newcomers versus Solving Hussars. Quite ironically, a game between both relegated teams from Division 2 of Season 1. Foxy, how do you feel tonight?
I feel very excited on the terms of the matches that will be beginning. In Division 3 is going to be between Newcomers and Solving, just like you said. So both these teams, they did get relegated in Division 2. They made their way back in Division 3. But the real question now is, Have they got what it takes to keep this climb going? Have they got what it takes to make sure they bounce back to Division 2? Or will we see them at the bottom of Division 3 and in the end get relegated out of the league, where they can only make that comeback possible through the Season 3 qualifiers? So that is definitely a question that I'm looking forward to search answers for, as the players have joined the lobby, and we're having a little bit of a player issue. That is exactly why we are having this stall out. But meanwhile, while we still have time to discuss on them, how do you think both these teams played in Division 2? Because Division 2, we had really amazing pool in terms of the skill level of the teams that existed. We did see Reckoning Esports, Vector Sports, and Phoenix make it out on the top of that Division 2. They did get promoted to Division 1 as well. But Sun Asia, Never Diamonds, Newcomers, Solving Dusters, the Peacemakers, every single one of them that stayed back in Division 2 was definitely, they were putting up fights, but just not enough. What are your thoughts on that, Blackjack?
Well, given everything, it is a league structure where teams will always either be promoted or relegated, or if they just make the cut, that is, they will stay in their respective divisions. And unfortunately, despite trying their hardest, Newcomers and Solving Dusters were found wanting in Division 2's skill cap. So we're going to be seeing them here in Division 3 for the rest of Season 2, which will, of course, affect how they play from here on onwards. I'm expecting very good games out of both of them, maybe even more victories than we saw them have last time. But that, of course, remains to be seen. As I said, we'll be searching for those answers throughout the rest of the upcoming weeks of Season 2. Looks like both of the teams might be ready. We are getting confirmation from Newcomers. Yes, they have said that they are ready. So we will be moving into the game right here. And for once, it is a change of map to Villa between Solving Dusters and Newcomers. Ladies and gentlemen, the first game of the division stage of Season 2 is underway.
What?
We're going to be moving on towards the ban phases right now. The first attacker ban, of course, comes out from the side of the defenders, who are Newcomers in this situation. And given the fact that it's Villa, we're probably going to see maybe a Capital ban, a Thatcher ban, maybe a Gridlock ban, if Newcomers, or Solving Dusters for that matter, are feeling, that particular groove for the night, as the final seconds of the clock are going to tick away. And it is a Montaigne. Alrighty then. Monty, of course, we know exactly how deadly he can be in the right hands. Once again, harkening back to Reckoning Esports. Excuse me, I blanked out for a second there. But the second attacker ban from Solving Dusters is going to be the Jackal. All right, a very standard ban. Jackal is, well, he's pretty useful to flush out any roamers roaming deep out of sight. Or if he's allowed to get close enough to sight, then even your anchors can find themselves in trouble. So Jackal, understandably banned, but a standard ban nonetheless. But here we go. Here's a ban that is very, works quite well on Villa. That is the Pulse ban, because of course his heartbeat scanner can work from the bottom floor or the top floor, depends on where the main defender site is, and he can deny diffusers very, very easily. So with that being said, the last defender ban is going to come up. Foxy, any quick predictions on who it might be?
Oh no, it could even be Echo. There we go. Echo does get banned. I was expecting maybe a Maestro. The way Villa gets played out, there's so many angles that you can just hold down with your Alda. You've got 80 bullets in that mag, and you might as well just pre-fire every single one of them. But anyways, coming back to round one here. So, Blackjack, this is indeed the first match that we're getting to witness here on Season 2. And just reminiscing back to Season 1, it's just been an amazing run that we've had to cast, and amazing matches, in fact, for that matter. And Villa being one of those maps that has been played extensively when it comes back to Division 3. I think Newcomers and Solving Dusters, that is, looks like we have a disconnection from Presto. No rehost request being made from the side of Saw. Meanwhile, maybe he is just having a power cut issue, as that is what usually goes down on such sudden disconnections. But that is definitely going to put them down on in terms of man count. Now they've got player 4 versus 5 at least for this roundup, as we will be seeing a rehost request come in, as I just confirmed that request with the admins. Blackjack, Anything you have to say?
Well, primarily speaking, we've seen how some teams have decided to play 4v5s forced due to the power cuts and all of the thunderstorms that have happened. One match that comes to mind is, of course, the game between Stack and Union Gaming in Division 1 of Season 1, where Stack had 2 disconnects due to power cuts, and that was just a completely disappointing match, if you have to ask me. But it looks like the rehost will, in fact, be going through for both of these teams right here. So, unfortunate for all of our viewers, but we will be moving into arenas. And oh, okay. Is this a new event, Foxy, that I'm seeing on screen right now? Oh, ho ho. Looks like we have an
Grand
event on
Larceny
hand.
is up. All right. Even I had no idea this is when it's rolling out,
Same.
but
Yeah.
all right, looks like it's here finally. A special game mode coming in straight up from Ubisoft for this game. Definitely getting some Peaky Blinders feels from this. Let us see how this looks, definitely. But then again, when it comes back to the competitive gaming here that we are witnessing, definitely that mode is not going to be shown on stream for everybody who's just wondering. But you can just turn on your games and give it a go yourselves. And for those of you who don't have the game, can definitely look up the URL for Games the Shop, where you can buy this game at a pretty discounted rate. It's a really good deal. If you're developing a new interest for Rainbow Six Siege, make sure you check out Games the Shop. Use the link in the bio and get yourselves this amazing game that we're witnessing here. We'll take just 2 minutes out. We'll be right back as we are rehosting the lobby, and let's get back into the action. Not stopping the siege action over here, not at the WD Black, the Esports Club League.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the game between Saw-Winged Hustlers and the newcomers here on Villa right after the rehost. All of the players are, of course, in. And we are back, of course. I am Blackjack. Joining me is Foxy once again. And Foxy, any thoughts on the game we've got on hand?
Oh, this is going to be very interesting in terms of how we see these teams play out. Like we did see the defense pick the trophy and statutory room, and that is exactly what they'll be going to. And this side has been a little, I would say, it's a little tipsy-turvy. It turns out to how the attackers choose to attack it rather and push it. Well, look at that. A 6 pick comes in from Saudi Satish onto the Mira from Ella. A very interesting 6 pick there because I am really curious to see what he does as we proceed into this match here, and especially on this side. It's going to be really interesting because I don't really think that Mira can be used not to perfection, but definitely you can use her here. It only turns to find out on where these black mirrors will be placed, or will we see an extended roam come out all the way on towards the side of Study and Aviator. So let's come back to the rosters here that we're getting to witness, and look at the strategy being employed from newcomers. Meanwhile, all right, Salty Satish, Adam, Lord Kickboy, John Pick, and Lord Bane on the side of newcomers, while we have Presto, Linpus, Bright Mochi, Not Asterix, and Invalid on the side of Saw-Winged Hustlers. Really interesting picks for both these guys, and very interesting placement of the black mirrors here, as both of them are going to be placed on the single wall, or the triple wall as some people like to call it, of the statue room. We're seeing one placed on a crouch level on towards the side of the soft wall, while we still have one on the reinforcement. That means if they lose one, they still have the other to fall back to. It's going to be very paramount for newcomers to make sure they have enough utility to guard these Mira mirrors, because we know exactly how this can be countered. For the push from Saw-Winged Hustlers could come in any time from below, and that could just be an easy peasy take for them to dispatch those Mira windows. Meanwhile, a 4-man or 5-man stack coming in from the side of Winged Hustlers here. They're already making their way in, and the Bandit is going to be the victim of the R4C that is coming in from Not Asterix, and a very quick take here on towards the side of Aviators. That is one roamer dispatch. It's all on to John Pick now if he wants to extend this roam game. But will that matter, as looks like the push is all focused on towards the south side of this map, and that is exactly where the Mira windows are not placed. This could just turn out to be a perfect read that they need, but look at this. Not Asterix is gonna get dispatched by Lord Bane. What a play from the Legion. He's gonna go wide. He's not gonna find the Zofia, but the Zofia is gonna take his head off, and what a punish coming in, but the refract comes right back in from Mira. Salty Satish standing up for his team here. Atom still holding down this angle. He knows that he's got to make his plays happen, but look at the play as I'm speaking about. John Pick is on his flank here. He could find an easy kill. Yes, he will onto the Nomad. He's got a easy kill onto the Blackbeard, that is, as he's making his way up. He's going to try and find the Thatcher. Not landing his shots, and he's going to get taken out. It's a 2 versus 2 now. 2 versus 1 exactly. As Atom is going to have to go for the retake. He's creeping up red stairs. There's no Nomad shot to stop him. There's no Claymore either. He could even make this play happen, but the prefire gives away his position. Can he make this clutch happen? So 1 versus 2. No, but the turnaround comes in from the Thermite, and Presto is going to dispatch Adam as Saw-Winged Hustlers take round 1 on Villa right here at the Division 3, day 1 of Season 2.
The very first round of the divisions stage of Season 2 of the WB Black the Esports Club League for Rainbow Six Siege have gone in the favor of Saw-Winged Hustlers, and of course, that is the first round of this game in and of itself. And, well, again, early game, it's kind of hard to tell who is going to take the entire match in and of itself from just this one round, but it was a good take from the side of Saw-Winged Hustlers on to the trophy statutory defense of newcomers. With that being said, we're going to be seeing newcomers go back to the same area, Not without the Mira this time, however, because Legion is going to be in play 6-picked out from Ella by Salty Satish. Looks like they're going to be going for a more standard set of operators and holds on this site. Maybe looking at an astronomy-themed defense in terms of where their anchors are placed. and of course the deep roam as it always was. And definitely going to see the entirety of the statutory bedroom wall reinforced this time, since there's no soft meta to be placed in that particular area. But we do have the bandit. Lord Kickboy is the bandit this time around, and he will, I don't think he's going to be tricking. Maybe impact tricking the main wall might be a thing, because Cresta of course is playing the thermite, but only time will tell what newcomers are going to decide on. Lord Bane, he's playing the Maestro, and of course the Alda, the Evil Eyes, everything in the favor of that operator. He's just such a powerful operator. I can't ever stop admiring Maestro for how much he brings to the team. He's like a fusion of some of the best aspects of the best and better defenders, becoming like a top tier defender himself. But you know, that's enough about me talking about the Italian man. We're going to be moving on to the game in and of itself. Action phase is of course in effect, as it looks like once again Saw-Winged Hussars are going to be moving in through the balcony of offices, going into its aviator through 90 hallway, all the way down to site from traditional. As, yep, there we go. The Zofid Linpos is pushing up. He's just waiting for the drones to confirm that there's no one in 90 for the time being. And 3 drones, 1 inside of games, 2 pushing ahead. It's all going to give so much intel to the side of Saw that they will be able to make this push happen without a whole lot of difficulty. Invalid is playing the Thatcher on the main stairs for the time being, as the Barbar is going to be broken. Not Asterix. He's the Ash, and he's pushed up quite a bit. But John Pick is there on the first floor. I believe that was Library that he was inside of, and that could be another big play. Bright Moshi is going to take down the barricade, stopping Linpos from getting in towards Trophy, excuse me. But I believe that is Lord Kickboy. Yep, the bandits in there to try and make some plays happen with Lord Bane sitting inside of Astronomy. The drones are going to spot the bandit, as Asterix is going to spot the Legion. And oh, what a shot from the Legion. As I speak about him, he's going to get the kill. Salty Southeast, he's also down the Blackbird in the meanwhile, but he knows that there's more operators there, and he puts some shots onto Invalid as the revive onto Bright Mochi is going to go off. And the EMP comes out from the Thatcher to delay for the time being. He's going to go for the peak, take a few more shots from the Legion, but no! Legion's going to lose the fight eventually as Invalid takes down Salty Cities. That's a big kill because the Legion was proving to be such a pain for Saw-Winged Hussars to deal with, but there's another bandit there, and the Vigil from below could be the changing factor right here, who is moving, making his way up the main stairs. Lord Kickboy inside of statutory for the time being. He's going to be holding off the pushing defenders. Invalid and Mochi are both on very low on HP right there, as it is up to Linpos and Cresta to provide the exact amount of support that they need to keep this push alive. 42 seconds left on the clock, but will they be able to make the plays happen? Maestro spotted inside the trophy, and shots are going to be fired, but Lord Bane is going to be intact and full HP as the drones keep spotting him, and what a shot onto Mochi! The Alda is going to get a double! That's a double for the Maestro right there, as Invalid takes an Adam, but not before Adam took down Cresto, and it's all down to Invalid, the Thatcher, solo on HP to make this play happen for his team. He's just pulling back to the side of Study for the time being, thinking that there's somebody by the main stairs or in traditional hallway.
15 seconds left.
But he's short on time. He's the man with the diffuser. Of course, he's going to see the Vigil take him out, and that's the first in this 1v3, but will he be able to make it in time? And no, he won't be able to. The Maestro is going to finish him off as Lord Bane takes the kill and Invalid off the board. And with that, round 2 goes to newcomers.
Now we'll be seeing the third round come in. Really nice offensive hold coming in from the side of newcomers over there. Salty Satish definitely doing a lot of damage. It did get the down onto the Blackbeard. He got a lot of HP off that Thatcher as well. So that is what made the Maestro and the Bandit pick out those kills for themselves, excuse me. Because I think that is what it comes down to. Even if you cannot claim a life, you might as well tag them enough for your teammates to take advantage of. And Salty Satish playing that to perfection. Really good play from that man, as we will be proceeding to the third round. That is dining room and kitchen, is where the defensive side is going to go do after successfully defending statutory. And looks like they did pay attention to what we've been saying, Blackjack, as like we said, statistically speaking, at least on the theory, at least on paper, the Aviator Games room is not very defendable. There's just so many loopholes to it, and that then again, it all comes down to the attackers and how they choose to exploit them. That is something we've got to keep in mind as well. It's just not that because we did see them go to statutory in the beginning of this match here, and it did not turn out in their favor because solving they read exactly what newcomers are doing. They've got so much emphasis into stopping the push from bedroom. So what they do, they push from the side of landing and make sure they get everybody out. So I mean that's how you play it. I mean that's the beauty of this game. You read into the defensive strategies, you read into the attacker strategies, and you just play against them. But coming back to the match in hand, and looks like I haven't seen Lord Kickboy before, and I haven't seen Bright Mochi before from the side of Solving Dusters. So I don't know. I don't know if these are the new players or we're just having a name change of the existing players. But anyways, we'll be seeing a 5 versus 5 come out, and that is exactly what we'll be seeing here. Seeing a roam game established, but he's gonna get caught out. There's no reinforcement to help him, and no camera as well as not Asterix is gonna dispatch the bandit along with the astronomy cam for himself. A really swift take coming in from the side of Solving Dusters once again, and look at this angle being played from the castle. Really powerful angle being established from Satish over here, as we are seeing Invalid do his duty. He's going to be running, bringing out the RED scanner. He's going to get those bandit batteries off, as the bandit is already dead. So no tricks coming from that German operator. A 5 versus 4 now. It's a 1.5 minute left on the board. They're still seeing standard drone work coming in from the side of Saw while they are prepping to go for the breach. Toma is going to have to be careful here. He doesn't want to lose his life. He's the only hard breacher who can get this laundry wall open. Still see drones come out. Legion knows there's somebody waiting outside laundry. He's going to quick peek that. Oh, look at that. Look at the peek from the Legion. He's teasing Linpos at this moment. Now that is John Pick. Still going to be stationed here. Doesn't want to overextend himself. He's going to dispatch a Legion mine and fall back. But he's actually going to go in wide, and he's going to try and land his shots. Not enough damage done, but he's going to get taken out. But the refract comes in right back from Adam. Linpos is going to get salty Satish as well. It all comes down to Adam, Lord Bait, and John Pick. The revive comes in at any moment now, and John Pick has to maneuver himself back. But Invalid has already taken out Lord Bane. It all comes down to John Pick. Does he get one? Yes, he does. But will he get 3 more? That is the real question here. The push comes in from the Ash, and that is it. Solving Hustlers are going to put round 3 on board for themselves, advancing against newcomers by 1 round's difference. And what a play from this attacking team here. Very swift, very fast, and very well played by them.
Definitely well played by Solving Dusters on the attack right there. Even if Kitchen is a better suited side for the defenders, newcomers were found wanting in that round, which was round 3. And now it is a 2-1 lead, of course, for the favor of Solving Dusters, as they will be looking to make the most of this little lead that they've established for themselves before we move into roll swap post round 6. But that is, of course, something for the future, the near future, arguably speaking, as we're going to be going back to dining and kitchen from the side of newcomers, which is, of course, I believe, the better choice to make in this situation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Aviator and Games as a site, but if you had to ask me to choose between kitchen and Aviator, I would certainly say kitchen. And it looks like newcomers agree with us, and of course with Foxy, and so many other people who are currently playing Villa and making strategies about it. You know, this site just works better. It has better cover, better lines of sight to establish, and better angles to hold for the defenders. But that being said, we're going to be seeing once again the bandit batteries being employed in the dining room double wall, where the thermite breach always happens. One on the single wall and probably one on the other single wall just inside of pantry. Excuse me. As Maestro, of course, he's going to be also important with the Alda and his Evil Eyes. John Pick with the visual, great for roaming, especially because he can deny, of course, intel on himself, where exactly where he is. And oftentimes it's a little understated, but in competitive Rainbow Six Siege, you want to know exactly where where the defender is as an attacker to make sure that the push goes off to perfection, and that is where visual comes in very handy for that particular player, because you know like they know you're in the room, but they don't know where you're in the room, which angle you're holding. There's so many variables that Vigil leaves unanswered with the use of his ability that attackers often get cold feet from pushing him, which leads to some great flanks established by the Roamer. But whether or not we're going to be able to see that depends, of course, on John Pick and the entirety of Solid Dusters, especially Invalid because he's running the IQ, whose RED scanner is great for detecting any visual roaming on the map. He's going to be very aware of that as we see the Claimer go off on the balcony of the second floor bedroom, that little roof area, as Nada 6 is going to be shooting in towards the memorial room for the time being. The soft wall, of course, is there. Also on top of, or overlooking, red carpet hallway. He's going to be joining for himself for the time being down the back stairs of Astronomy and trying to find any defenders in the area who could stop his push. He's going to be joined by another teammate's drone because, of course, there's no Mozzie in play, which means newcomers can't counter intel for the time being. The Ash has already pushed down the back stairs and is going to be opening up the castle barricade in kitchen. And Thermite's here to breach the single wall as well. Looks like it's going to be a quick take once again from the side of Solving Justice, but will it work out this time around because newcomers might just be prepared for this exact push. The Ash is already inside of the China room as Cresto is watching from the breeze that he just made, putting some shots onto Lord Kickboy. I don't know if the bandit's in here for the time being, but shots are fired as Salty Satish takes on Cresto and drops the diffuser as well. That's a big kill. The Thermite's off the board, and Invalid and Not Asterix have to try and make this play happen. Invalid's going to try and go for the diffuser, while Salty Satish has already rotated all the way back to Pantry to keep himself safe for the time being. It's a 4v5, but with the bandit so low on HP, he might get taken out any second now, as vertical lines of sight are also being established by the attacking team. As the breachers and drones go off, Lord Kickboy is going to be finding some shots. So Salty Satish, and there we go. Not Asterix goes down, actually. Lord Kickboy, solo line HP is still going to be alive as John Pick goes down. There goes the castle, and the bodies are starting to drop right here. Invalid takes down Kickboy as well. The bandit is gone. One of the evil eyes goes down as well, as Maestro Zaldo is going to come into play any second now. But with the diffuser, Invalid has pushed in. He could go for the plant any second now. He's just going to watch out, and it's some shots of fire, but no, the IQ goes down. That's the diffuser dropped inside by Lord Bane. What a play from the Jaeger right here. He knows there's somebody in the hallway. He's going to make some pre-fires happen, but the Zof is going to win that fight. It's all down to the Maestro in a 1v2 situation, and he's going to go down to Bright Mochi as well as, he goes down to Adam as well, as the Saw-Winged Hustlers are going to take another attacking round right here. Round 4 goes in their favor.
Really nice play once again from the attacking team here. They did make sure that, so I think what is it all coming down to? Oh, all right, never mind. Thank you for the tease, Lord Kickboy. For a second, I did think he was going to put Tachanka. The chat has been speaking about Tachanka as well. So anyways, coming back to the game here, I really think that when it comes down to the end game, newcomers are not able to counter strat the gunplay. I mean, it's just straight up gunplay that they're losing. But then it all comes down to the roamers as well. So just because you cannot fight them on site, you deploy your roamers out of sight to try and hold them off as much as you can outside. So when it comes to those last few seconds of the round, you have more than enough time to establish yourself from crossfires. You have enough utility expended on stopping those attackers from taking site. But here's the twist. Newcomers' roaming potential so far has been almost zero. The roamers are dying very early. There's literally nothing that we are seeing Solving Dusters employ on taking those roamers out. Usually we see shields being placed, we see Zofia making sure she uses her lifelines on that, we see so much utility being expelled just to take out one, if not two of those roamers. But more importantly, it's not even about the utility at this point. Newcomers are just straight up giving away their lives to Solving Dusters, and that is very early into the round. We did see Not Asterix convert on 2 kills for himself. That is the Ash, just straight up walking in head first into study room, into landing area from the 90 hallway. Every time she finds herself a free kill, and maybe this time also, but no. She's just going to fall back. He doesn't want to overpeak this, as the rappel down comes in as well. The flash just to make sure nobody's going to be peeking that, but the ADS just catch that out. Invalid is going to be holding down from the bottom. That is going to be on the dining area. Just making sure a few pre-fires come in. You can never be extra sure in a game like this. Bandit batteries are going to get taken out as well, but that's the railing that you're hitting, IQ. You've got to place yourselves. There you go. There you go. You finally got him. All 3 of them. 3 bandit batteries out of the board, and now Lord Kickboy, it's so confusing. Lord and Boy just don't go together, my man. As we will be seeing him Hold on this angle. He's got the triple wall and only one bandit battery left for the trick. Adam, meanwhile, is going to get non-asterisks. A really good shutdown coming in from the side of newcomers, as that is what they needed. Shutting down the spearhead of the attack for Solving Dusters. A 5 versus 4 now. We still see a two-man push coming in from the side of the bedroom, while we have two attackers down below, Invalid and Linpus. Linpus, I don't think we've been seeing much of the frag game that we got to see from Season 1 from and so far. But then again, this is only the starting of the Season 2. Definitely a lot more that we'll be seeing come going ahead in this league here. Meanwhile, we'll be seeing them go back onto the drones. Krestos has got stun grenades and now the Claymore, and that is what is going to keep him on his toes for this flank watch. But he could go for this breach peek anytime. Meanwhile, Kickboy is going to take a C4 out of his pocket, but not going to connect to anything. Trying to make this push happen. Tries to land his pre-fires, but not landing any. Bright Mochi is going to get Lord Bane. That is a 4 versus 4 now. Oh, he's going to convert on the Zofia eventually, but the Nomad is here to peek him. But the Thermite has established a crossfire with the Nomad as well. It's a 3 versus 3 now, as we see the C4 operator still in play, but no C4 in the back pocket of the... Just as I speak about it, Salty Satish is going to get Presto. A really important kill for them, as that is your Thermite taken out. So no more, your planter is not going to be alive. It's 3 versus 3 now. Make that a 2 versus 2, as we see Bright Mochi taking down John Pick. It's all going to come down to these 20 seconds on who wins those gunfights. Definitely newcomers stand on an advantage in terms of how the HP looks like. But will that matter? Crossfire is what is your priority right now. 15 seconds left and the push is coming in from the side. But the IQ is not going to look at the Jaeger. What are you doing, IQ? The Jaeger is going to get a kill for himself, and 2 for that matter, as Atom shuts down Solving Hustlers here on this defense. And what a play from the Jaeger, perfectly placed, using his position to the maximum power and making sure he doesn't allow Solving Dusters to take another round on board for themselves. 3-2 is going to be the scoreline as we proceed to round 6.
And what a round it is, and what a match it's promising to be so far. Newcomers and Solving Dusters fighting for this game that is in stake, of course. And round 6 means we are 1 round away from the role swap for both of these teams, which will, of course, put Solving Dusters on the defense and Newcomers on attack. And looks like we're going to be going back to first floor's dining room from the side. Oh wait, yeah, we are going back to dining room. I just realized. From the side of Newcomers. Excuse me, I blanked out again for a second, but I believe that is a Ying. That was 6 pick right there. Was it? Yes, it was. Not Asterisk, with the Ying coming out to play, which is, of course, we've seen Ying plays before, especially I recall one in particular in Season 2 that backfired very heavily for the attacking team. Wasn't quite the best Ying play, I'll be honest with you, but it ended up being an amazing 2v5 clutch for that particular defending team. I can't recall the match. If somebody in chat remembers, do sound off. I'll be looking at it very shortly. But with that being said, we are of course here for the game between Saw and the Newcomers, and the Ying play should be interesting if not Asterix doesn't get taken out early. But given his play history in this match so far, I can almost say with confidence that he's going to make the push to site happen as quickly as he possibly can. As the final touches to this defensive hold from the side of Newcomers is going to be put in, Salty Satish rearranging his castle barricades according to his team's needs, as Lord Bane's going to be off on the roam once again. The Jaeger, now at 2-speed 2 armor after a recent nerf, is going to be still roaming just as heavily as he used to. No change in that aspect to that character, as Invalid takes a little bit of damage falling off the lower roof just outside a bathroom. Just, you know, it was a little too high to drop off right there, but he's going to be rappelling on the pantry window for the time being, trying to find an angle in towards site to exploit. There we go, the angle through these through the shelf right there is going to be what he's looking for the time being, but decides not to. Of course, he's got the RED scanner, he's got other utilities and important tasks to do, as there's a defender inside a bedroom. But will the IQ know? He's putting down a breach charge, and the Jaeger comes out. Lordman's going to get that kill. Not before the breach charge went off, though, so the vertical line of sight is established, but there's no IQ to man that sight line for the time being. The Jaeger's going to be seen, and there we go. He gets taken out. Accordingly, Linpaw is refragging onto Lord Bane right there, as the man count is equalized for both of these teams right here on round 6. A minute 40 still left on the clock for both of them, of course, which means anything could go down from this point onwards, as, you know, it promises to be a very interesting round. The Ying is firing away somewhere with her T95 LMG, of course, and you know, it's interesting. More droning from the side of Solving Dust is going to give away the position of John Pig. The Legion setting us out dining for the time being. He's not peeking as, oh, he does go for the peek, but Sophia is going to be the one to take him out. Lin Paws getting that headshot onto John Pig. He's going to wait and make sure no one's peeking his angle before taking the goo mine out of his shade and making the plays happen. The drones pushing in towards side. The Bandit is inside of Kitchen, of course, as the drone should spot him any second. Now it has spotted the Maestro, who's playing in Memorial through the rotation that was made by the Legion back in the prep phase. He's been spotted by the drone, and he's going to be forced to pull back in for the time being. But Salty Satish is out. In Art Studio, he might just go for a big angle. No, he's not going to. He's going to pull back from Piano for the time being, trying to play towards Restes. And oh, he sees the drop from Bright Mochi as the Nomad gets taken out by the castle right there. It's now a 3v3 situation for both teams as Thermite takes a lot of damage. Adam gets that kill as he's going to be free fighting away with the Alda, but he's not going to manage to get the kill for the time being. Another push is happening from Memorial. But that is a Ying who's going to be taken out by Salty City. It's now a 1v3, all down to Linpass on the Zofia, and he's going to be downed, and the kill should be confirmed any second now, as he's going to try and go for the resistance, and oh, almost had it off, but it wouldn't have mattered as Adam had the Alda right in that line of sight as the defenders newcomers take round 6, and I believe that is a 3-3 scoreline going into roll swap. In fact, it is. The 3-3 scoreline has been established. The equalizer on roll swap means it is the roll swap of the truest sense. Both teams are effectively starting out from scratch on the opposite role of what they've been playing for this entire time. And it should be a very exciting game going forward from here. Foxy, what do you think is going to happen next?
No, looks like we have our equalizer already on the match day 1 for Division 3 here at the WD Black, the Esports Club League. And things are only getting exciting here because, all right, 3-3 already before we go to side swap. And I don't know, man. It's just... so here's what is getting to me. We've been seeing so much of Clubhouse come out recently. And was the other map? Border. We haven't seen much of Villa. It's just that when we are coming back to Villa, I'm a little off the meta, you know. I'm just trying to figure out what both of these teams are trying to do here. Definitely, it's not something out of the box. It's really good that we're getting to see them give each other a tough fight. What only remains to see is if we see overtime right here today on the match day 1 at Division 3 for Season 2. It's going to be very interesting if we see an overtime come up, but I definitely want to see that happen. Let us see if that is what is going to be what we're going to be witnessing, excuse me, as we're seeing. Let's take a quick look at the operator lineups from both these teams. The Vamai and the Jaeger, the duo, just like Blackjack, always emphasizes on how both of them work very well together, in fact, as we'll be seeing the German brothers come out as well, and to accompany them we will be having the SAS operators as well. All right, that is nice. So it looks like Invalid, the Wamai, is the only odd one out here, as everybody else has a pair. But guess what? In terms of utility, definitely the Wamai and the Jaeger can pair up. It's more of a Thatcher-Thermite relationship, maybe. At least that is as close as it can get to a comparison, if that is what we are having. Lord Kickboy is going to be running the Thermite, speaking of which, and Adam is going to be on the Thatcher. We have a 5 versus 5 now, no early picks so far, and I think that should be good if I was the attacking team. We know how careful we have to be on a map like this where spawn peaks are always imminent, as we see a few pre-fires come in from the person holding on towards Astronomy, while we are seeing a insertion point being established from, I think that is I don't know, that was Salty Satish? I don't think so. That was John Pick. Yeah, John Pick is going to get a pick as well onto Linpaz, and what a read right into the... I think that was the library. Yes, the library window onwards from the bathroom. A really good read coming in from the Maverick there. An easy kill for him as well. The Wamai has got to hold this down. He's got the shield. He's got his magnets as well. It's only a matter of time till the breach push comes in any time now, as Invalid is going to have to hold this one down. Salty Satish is going to claim the life of Cresto. Meanwhile, that is going to be your Jaeger taken on the board. Excuse me, that is the Mute, as we did see the Jaeger being taken out by the Maverick. There's so much happening right now. It's just a little too tough to sometimes keep a track of. Not Asterix is going to be on the landing area. He's got the jammers for himself. Definitely not going to get drone, but not unless the drone comes in from the hallway. Bright Muchley is going to be holding down this breach all by himself. He's still got... I know how that sounds. He's still got 3 canisters in his pocket. He can definitely use that up well. And we'll be seeing Invalid hold down that angle. He's got the door covered, but does he have a cover for himself? Lord Bane is going to get not Asterix, and the push is coming in from the side of landing as well. It's only a matter of time till the smoke reads into that, and Invalid is going to have to make this push here as they're sitting ducks right now. Invalid is going to get a kill on the Lord Kick, but will that matter? It's a 4 versus 2 now, and really bad positioning from the attack, from the defense actually, as Salty Satish is going to get taken down by the Toxic Babe from him. And look at this flank coming in from Invalid. There's so much damage on Solving Dusters. It all comes down to Adam. Or actually, it all comes down to Bright Muchley. He's got a 1 versus 2 to fight against. But where's the Maverick? He's here to collect that kill for himself. And newcomers are going to proceed with the round advantage after the side swap. And what a play coming in from the Maverick here. Being here at the right place at the right time. And what a rotate. The early frag and then the frag to finish up that match. Really well played.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well played to newcomers right there on that attack, making sure they clean up on the roam game from the side of Saw and then taking out their anchors one by one. They were almost stopped, of course, by the duo of Smoke and Wamai, but that flank was shut down really quickly. And, of course, we had John Pick coming in from the back on 90 hallway, taking down the Smoke right at the end. With that being said, of course, it is a 4-3 situation in round 8. The lead is in favor of newcomers for the time being, and I believe this is the first time newcomers are taking the lead in this game. In fact, it is, as I go over my data real quickly. And that is, of course, great for them. You know, taking the lead is always a good step taken in the direction of victory, but they need to capitalize even more on this particular situation. This is very crucial. If they cannot win a couple more rounds, at least this round from this point, then they will not be able to establish the momentum they need to win out of match point. And we might see Solving Dusters come back and mount sort of push for overtime, or we might see... Oh, wait just a minute. Is that the suppressor on Maestro? That is a suppressor on the Alda 556. Okay. I mean, the gun does fire very quickly. You know, if anyone's seen the rate of fire that the Alda boasts, along with its base damage, it's alright. Running the suppressor isn't a terrible option. But, of course, suppressors in Rainbow Six are just, in general, something that a lot of players don't want to go for because of the fact that they sort of reduce damage. And recoil patterns aren't exactly the best with them either. So, you know, lots of downsides to a suppressor, but... I'm not one to say a whole lot myself because I run suppressors on some of the weirdest guns that you will find me playing. So I don't think I'm a voice of opinion right here. But with that being said, we're going to be seeing the balcony push once again be mounted from the side of Solving Dusters, newcomers on this attack, as Saw are going to be looking to put this round on board. Round 8, of course, is the round in question, and we are on the second floor of Bedroom. From the side of the defensive team, Thatcher's EMPs are going to go out for the side for the time being, as a cast canister from Smoke is going to do quite a lot of damage to Lord Bane. Goes down to half HP as he is going to be forced to push back towards Bathroom, but there's a Wamai waiting right here. Shots are fired, but it's not going to find Invalid for the time being. No damage being done to either operator as they're just exchanging bullets for now. Once again, just missing the shoulder of the Wamai as he looks to make a play happen. He's going to see the IQ, but again, he's going to miss his shots. Finally do some damage, but that's only Invalid taking damage. And oh, what a shot from the IQ. Finally, the game of quick peaks results in his victory as he is all the way down to 25 HP for the time being. In the meanwhile, the hallway push is also coming out from the side of the attackers, but the Thermite is going to be denied for the time being by Cresto's Imper Grenades, tricking out his exit limit charge. The second one's going to come out, and it's going to be denied as well. What a play from Cresto right there to deny the Thermite breach. That's going to be a big play right there because that means newcomers are not going to have the line of sight that they needed to make this play happen. Lord Bane is very low on HP as what a shot onto Limpos right there. He's just waiting for the Maestro to peek. As there we go, he's going to stop firing, trying to make him think that he's out of bullets, but the Maestro knows that the IQ is peaking right here, and he's going to be forced to pull back for the time being because Maestro's not going to fall for it. As Maestro, he's just holding it down from this shield and astronomy. Reloading his gun, you know, it takes a while, but he has the time required as he's going to have to play this shield for the time being. Not as Evil Eyes, because he knows that the main breach has been stopped and not Asterix is going to take down Lord Bane in the meanwhile. But Salty Satish is there to refrag. It's now 1v4 all of a sudden, and it's all down to Bright Mochi. Salty Satish has gotten another one for himself as the Maestro with the suppressor is all that's left for the defensive team right here. His shots are fired. He gets one in the hallway, but there's another one who's going to take him out. And newcomers are going to win round 8 on this attack as Adam shuts down any possible comeback from the Maestro in round 8. Which goes to newcomers.
All right, so I'm gonna have to ask you this, Blackjack. It's been bugging me for a little bit of the entire round in the last match because we did see the Maestro being left out in a 1 versus 4 as well. What are we doing about the fish situation?
Hold on, say that again?
What are we doing about the fish situation? So we were having this conversation before we got on the match that will we be calling him Bright Fish or we're just gonna have to call him Bright Mochi? But anyways, looks like a tease comes in from him. That's going to be the Tachankas being 6-picked over Legion, and a really good pick in fact. Definitely could help them defend the A Video Games room. Let us see if that is what is going to matter, because actually when it comes down to some strategies that get deployed on Villa, we've seen Mira being emphasized a lot when it comes to a Tachanka pick. You know, those two picks together go really well when it comes to a site like Aviator Games Room, especially on Villa. And I don't know, maybe it's just me and me fanboying over Siege, just hoping to see that we possibly get to see a Mira and a Tachanka play. But so far, we really haven't had that kind of play being pulled out so far. Hopefully, in the upcoming matches, we might see something of that sort. And Villa being that map that has been very potent for roamers like Caveira, we did see Linpass, despite being on low HP, he's going to claim the life of Lord Bane. Very important pick coming in from him. And just like I said, the wall breach is in play. Presto, I think he's missed the C4 that we did here rip out, but look at this. The frag comes in from the side of newcomers and Salty Satish. Once again, amazing positioning. It all comes down to Bright Mochi as he's the only man left alone once again. And a 1 versus 4 now. He's got to make this clutch happen. He's got 100 HP for himself. He's got the T5 SMG in his pocket as well. Will this clutch happen? The plant is going down from Raw Kick Boy, but he gets spotted out, and newcomers are going to proceed to match point. And what a attack coming in from the side of newcomers here. Like I said, it was a little too spread out for my liking, but they were right there at the right time. One's on the landing, one's on the hallway. There was somebody creeping up onto the main stairs as well that got them the kill into the Wamai. So really good ground control when it came down to the end of the round there. And that is what has awarded them with the match point. 6-3 is the scoreline that we're looking at. And we might proceed to a 7-3 maybe. But it only stands to see if Solving Dusters try and make this comeback happen.
Most certainly going to be very exciting to see Saw can mount a comeback right here. But very, very big props to the side of newcomers. As you said, they looked very shaky up ahead like early in the game. It was 3-1 in favor of Saw back on round 5. And since then, they have just taken round after round. They haven't even lost a single round ever since round 5, which of course is shown up on the scoreboard right there. Is a 6-3 in their favor. As I believe we saw the Hibana be 6-pick in by John Pick for the time being. But I just have to say, man, my hat goes off for Lord Bane because of the insane plays that he's been pulling off for the time being. Excuse me, the insane plays that he's been pulling off with the IQ's LMG. Both times on bathroom, he has been absolutely insane with the gun on hand. And the rest of his team has just sort of been following through with him. John Pick, Lord Kickboy, Adam, and Salty Satish. Newcomers have completely amazed me in this first game, and I am a very happy camper to say that the match point in them is totally deserved. They have given it all. They're all here to stay alive, afloat, and eventually take a big lead against Solving Dusters. But enough about that. We are going into round 10 right here, and Saw are gonna have to try and mount a comeback, and they need to pull out all the stops to make that happen. The Mira is in play in Aviator Games once again. A site that a lot of teams have sort of stopped preferring, as Villa has developed as a competitive siege map. Excuse me. But, you know, still, Aviator Games, it can be held down if you have the Mira, but you have to be very careful. It's almost as if the defenders have to play around the Mira and not around the roam game that can be established on bedroom and the first floor. As you see, Linpause and not Asterix there, of course, all the way out there for the rest of Soaring Hussars. But the balcony push is already happening, and that is, I believe, the Hibana out there, John Pick, with the Type 89. In the meanwhile, the bedroom push is being mounted as Jones are going to spot the dock inside of landing right here. He's going to be forced to pull back right in front of side door, which is where he's going to be holding a good angle onto bedroom door for the time being. He knows that there's somebody there, and from the looks of things, the IQ is in that area. It's either IQ or Adam on the thatch. I'm not entirely sure who that is, but whoever that is will definitely be in for a fight. The dock, of course, being a 3 armor, can tank a lot of shots. More droning coming out from the set of newcomers as there we go. The IQ does peak, but no, Lord Bane is going to lose that for the first time as he's the one to go down first, and the Doc once again doing his job. The MP5, the stim pistols, and his status as a 3 armor 1 speed all coming together to take down the formidable Lord Bane. The IQ is off the board, ladies and gentlemen, which might just put newcomers at a bit of a disadvantage in this round. Salty Satish putting down his required air jabs. He's going to be peeking the dock, but he knows that's a fight that he might not be able to win, as he's going to just pull back for the time being. Play it safe, wait for the rest of his team to make the push happen, as Vault is being opened by the Thermite, which is, of course, a big play right there. He knows that the visual, Nomad knows the visual's there, and there we go. That's the kill confirmed onto Linpause, and that's a big kill. The flanks are off the board for the time being, as the man count is equalized, but Lord Kickboy is very low on HP, and he's looks like he's going to try and go for the fight on the main door of site, but no one's in the aviator door for the time being, as shots are still being fired. Adam goes down to low HP as well, as this push has to happen. It's now or never, because we're in the last 20 seconds of the round in this situation, as the push from the rotate is going to happen from Southeast East, but right Nochi is taking down Lord Kickboy, and Cresto's going to take down Adam. That's a big kill. It's now a 2v4, all down to Salty Satish and John Pick, who have to push side, and the Mira's going to get one. It's all down to this last attacker here, and John Pick goes down to invalid, as Saw-Winged Hussars are going to stay alive here on Villa by winning round 10 for themselves. It's still in match point for newcomers, but it is 6-4 in round 11 right now. Well, what a round indeed, coming out from the side of Saw-Winged Hussars. Winning a defensive round was absolutely crucial for them to stay alive in this match right here, as they will be moving into round 11 trophy defense for the time being, which means they've got a better chance of pulling this round out as well, maybe potentially even going for the overtime equalizer, as we see John Pick 6-pick into the Zofia out of the Twitch. Of course, you know, more utility, arguably speaking, for charges of the lifeline that Zofia has in her pocket are going to be always essential for any attacking team in the current way that Rainbow Six plays in terms of its attacking operations. But with that being said, Aviator Room was successfully defended by the side of Saw-Winged Hussars in the last round, as now they've moved towards trophy and statutory to try and keep themselves alive right here. I know I'm repeating myself just a little bit, but it cannot be emphasized enough how important this round is for the side of Saw if they want to get this first match of Division 3 on board for themselves. Of course, you know, the division stage for Season 2 is just beginning. This is the very first match of the division stage, which means there's going to be plenty more of matches and chances to come for Saw to make plays happen to either stay in Division 3 or get promoted to Division 2 once again. And whether or not they'll be able to, or will they be relegated to qualifiers, which is, of course, the worst outcome to happen, arguably speaking, in the entire division stage, only remains to be seen. Everyone's seeing Cresto on the castle this time around with the super shorty that he's stolen off of the Mozzie. and he's going to be putting down the castle barricades in important positions for his team. So Castle's one of those operators, right? You see him in lower tier gameplays in ranked, and people don't really want to play Castle until you get to the higher ranks and of course competitive Rainbow Six, where Castle has made a massive area that he can sit on as a very good operator. Lord Bane has taken quite a lot of damage in the meanwhile. He's got to be careful. He's of course one of the best players for newcomers in this match, and if he goes down early, and Lord Bane is actually going to be down in the meanwhile, that is some impact grenades coming out from the Legion that have downed that operator. He's going to be having second round inside the bathroom, but shots are being fired, and look at this push up from Not Asterix. He's gonna make sure the revive doesn't go off. He's got both the Lords, both Kickboy and Bane have gone down, and the Thermite, that is another massive addition to the amount of factors that he has just tipped in favor of solving dusters. But he's gonna be taking even more shots as the refrag happens from Adam. He's gonna trade into Not Asterix. The Legion is down, but once again the Thermite is off the board, which is an insanely large kill for the side of solving dusters, because now the hard breach on the bedroom main wall will not be going down anytime soon, excuse me, which of course means big ramifications for newcomers to deal with. As one of the air jabs gets triggered and Wamai goes for a peek at the bedroom, he's gonna get one, and that is John Pick off the board. Once again a 4v2, all down to Satish and Adam to try and make the plays happen, as the Nomad is pushing on the main door of bedroom, and inside a bathroom sits the Thatcher. Nomad, he's gonna have to try and make the plays happen. He was someone to the left. He's gonna go in peeking, but he won't find the Wamai. He will finally, but the refrag happens from beside of Trophy, as it is all down to Adam, as he's gonna be shot up. There we go. The goo mine gave away his position, and lane balls from Astro Stairs is gonna make that kill, as now it is round 11 was just secured for the side of Saw. They have just one more round to go for overtime, as the score is now pushed to 6-5, match point still in favor of newcomers, but now it gets exciting.
Definitely one round away from the equalizer coming in, while we still see newcomers sitting on that match point advantage. Definitely it's going to come down to this one round on how both these teams decide to play and win this, because it's essentially the only difference that is going to be made in this match here. One round to the side of newcomers and they walk away with a 7-5 victory, and one round on the side of solving dusters and we go to overtime. Are you ready, Blackjack? Looks like solving dusters are not stopping. They might as well make this happen, but it only stands to see if newcomers manage to shut them down, as that is going to be their top priority right now. They're definitely feeling a little down in terms of how their team morale is, as you wouldn't let any team come that close to equalizing for yourselves, and you're definitely feeling like, all right guys, time to hang up, it's time to get serious. We cannot allow them to do this, because we've been sitting on match point for quite a while now. If they make this happen, it is not going to turn out well for us, because once you go to overtime, then again it's essentially a reset on who takes that match point away from you. And so far solving dusters have established themselves a really amazing momentum. Let us see if they can keep that going. 5-6 is going to be the scoreline as we are up and running here on round 12. That is, Invalid is going to be using the castle, and a really good strategy being employed. I'm going to have to say that the Mira being employed on the top floor, he's got two Mira windows, the black mirror facing on towards the side of Trophy from Astronomy. They've got the hatch reinforced as well, so there's nobody who can do the vertical play from down below, while the castle is going to make sure he helps Mira establish and cut out, for that matter, important lines of sights coming in from the side of landing and Trophy for that matter. We're seeing Linpos play the Jaeger. He's been amazing with his gun so far. Really good fragger that Solving Dusters has for themselves, as he's definitely here for his ADSs, and he's just going to stay here for the time being. These drones do get caught out. Linpos, I'm not exactly sure if he's playing this position just because if he's stuck here or he's intending to play here. But it looks more of the other way, that he's just stuck here. As there's just no rotation available for him. We're seeing Not Asterix. Make sure he gets a few drones for himself. But Presto is going to disconnect. That is your... I'm not exactly sure what operator he was playing. but that is definitely going to put them on a man disadvantage on a situation like this. It is going to be bad. But all right. Okay, what a play from Saudi Satish, but Invalid is here to convert 2 kills for himself. I'm not exactly sure where that came in from. Possibly that was from the hatch, while the Mira is going to get taken down as well. The Jaeger and Invalid is all it comes down to. Invalid is going to be on his triple killing spree here. He's gotten all kills on board so far for the side of the defense. Meanwhile, Lord Bane is creeping up on them from the China room. He's made his way in. He does get hurt out. Pre-fires come in from both these teams. Who's going to be the victor? It's going to be Lord Bane. No, he gets shut down. It's a 1 versus 1. But newcomers are going to be the victor of this match as they take it away 7-5. And right now, I'm pretty sure what Saw must be thinking. If only we did not have that disconnection. If only we had 5 players alive for ourselves. This could just be our comeback. And for that matter, the most epic comeback. But anyways, that is going to put Saw Ignacius down for the while, as 7-5 is going to be the score. And look at that, 16 frags for Invalid. What a play from that man. Really heavy lifting, I would say. Really good emphasis in terms of how it came down to the skills towards the end. But the victor of that match is definitely going to be newcomers. A 7-5 scoreline, as our next match coming up is going to be Zillion Sports versus Team Maha. We know them as Constant Esports as well, as we'll be up and running with that in just a while. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD Black, the Esports Club League for Rainbow Six Siege, powered by LG Ultragear in association with ACD Fibernet, Zotac Gaming, and Games The Shop. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Tanab and Foxy, as we are moving into Match 2 of Division 3 in the first day of Playdays right here, as we are going to be moving into the match between Zillant Esports versus Team Moha. But before that happens, we've got an interview lined up with Lord Render coming up very, very soon. So, Foxy, roll the interview.
Everybody, welcome back to a very special interview that we've got today with Lord Render from Zillant Sports. Lord Render, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, Foxy. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for asking. In fact, so Zillant Sports are now the big name in the game, making it through the qualifiers against 58 teams in Season 2. How does it feel getting into the league?
It feels really great. I think we got to match up against very good teams.
Coming to making it through those teams, beating TBD on their arguably the strongest map. What was the game plan that went behind it?
Actually, we knew that the TBD's strongest map was Border. We had checked their videos out. For us, also, Border is a really strong map. We knew that TBD is really good at firefights, so we tried to play objective. I think TBD could have won if they hadn't rolled.
What is your game plan coming up in the matches that you'll be facing in Division 3? You know your opponents, you know the group stage. How is that going to fare according to you?
Actually, we are going to play some more scrims so that we can learn much more than what we know right now and like make up new strats on the way.
Who do you think is your toughest opponent that you think is your arch enemy when it comes to your division, that is Division 3?
I think Zerush will be a very tough opponent to beat. We have seen their gameplay and their strats. They're really good. They are organized well in the rounds. So I think Zerush would be a very tough competitor for us.
Alright, so Lord Render, that brings me to the last question for this interview. Anything you have to say to your supporters out there, to your fans, maybe in your native language as well?
നമ്മൾ പൊളിക്കുവാണ്. We will get into Division 2. നമ്മൾ ജയിക്കുമെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു.
Thank you. It was amazing getting this interview done with you, Ashwin. Excuse me, Lord Render actually. That's your gaming name, and that's exactly the name everybody's going to remember along with Zillant Sports. Thank you for giving me your time, and let's get back into the games.
Alrighty then, that was the interview with Lord Render from Zillant Esports, who are here, of course, in the Division 3 match day 1 against another fellow team from the qualifiers team, Moha, who are, and this match, of course, promises to be a very, very exciting one, as both me and Foxy, of course, we're here to cast once again. Foxy, what do you feel about the game we've got on hand?
I'm very excited in terms of both these teams. Team Moha, we know them as Constant Esports as well. They're going to be playing Coastline. Really good players that this team has. We saw Raksan be that one player. I think Raksan is that one person that you can always trust on with the Jaeger. He's always playing that operator, and he's always making sure he makes beautiful plays for him and his teammates. While Danu, he's always been on more of a semi-flex position. Really good players from the side of Team Moha and Constant Esports, for those of you who don't know. Let us see how that fares on a map like Coastline, because Coastline, as we know, it's a little more coordination heavy. It's a little more strategic. It comes down to so many soft walls. It comes down to so much destruction. Let us see how we are going to see Team Moha play against that, as they'll be starting off on defense, while Zillant Sports today, on a very sad note, we won't be having the person who we just got the interview done with. That was Lord Render. He won't be joining us in the game. Sadly, we've got he's got himself his arm fractured. So that's enough for my boy Lord Render over there. That's actually sad, because we would love to see him play today after the lovely interview that we just had with him. But That being said, we'll still be having Viper CDX.exe come in for the side of Zealand Sports, while Prey, Zealand Flank, Enigma, and Kingfish are still here, up and running. Want to make sure that they give this match all they have, because this is indeed the match day 1 of the season 2 for Division 3. Right here, right now. Still waiting on a connection coming in from Team Waha, and we'll be up and running with this match right up. That is Coastline Blackjack. How do you think both these teams have played out so far, and who do you think, statistically speaking, which one of them has a rather better advantage on taking this the way they play this one out? Because we do know for a fact that Coastline does not employ a heavy emphasis in terms of heart breach.
Coastline is one of those rare maps you get in just Rainbow Six in general, where hard breaching is not an absolute essential to win your site pushes as an attacking team. And that, of course, Zealand will be very aware of that going into this game, knowing that they can improvise just that little bit better. Of course, for all of our viewers at home who caught the interview, Zealand did beat TBD to get here. And mind you, TBD as a team, I know some of their players personally, and they are a very formidable team. So the fact that Zealand managed to beat them by improvising, playing objective, and taking gunfights only when they knew they would win was certainly a big step to take. Even if they are in Division 3, that victory means Zealand is not a team to be underestimated, even in the slightest. Although not to say any less of Team Waha, the last time we saw them was Consulate against Team RC, where they took the victory 7-5 in their favor as well. It was a close game going into the last few rounds of the game, but Waha came out on top at the end. And given the fact that both these teams are going up against each other in the very first day in and of itself, should be an exciting game to cast and watch for everybody involved. And Coastline, of course, one of the more visually pleasing maps. You know, it has a great aesthetic. And it depends on whether or not we'll get to see any of the Spanish operators play on their home ground, because we've seen a lot of Jackal and Mira bans on Coastline, which of course, understandably so, they are quite powerful in their home map. Speaking of bans, of course, Foxy, any predictions on what we might see in terms of bans in this matchup right here?
So the way both these teams play out, like you said, definitely maybe we are seeing a Jackal ban coming up. But the way the meta has been changing for Coastline in specific, we might even see a Blackbeard ban. I don't think either of these teams are going to employ a gridlock. We see a huge implication of gridlock when it comes to a little bit, when we go in the higher tier there, up in Division 1. Coastline has been that one map where gridlock is definitely being used. He's going to cut off so many rotations, so much utility on ourselves. That's 3 track stingers that I don't know deploy how many of those little thorns up on the ground. All you have to do is make sure you toss it in the right place, and it's going to make sure it watches the flank for you. It's going to make sure no knots are procured for the side of the defense. And more than that, it's going to make sure you are having yourself a channelized push for your attack. So maybe a Blackbeard ban is up and coming, but a Jackal ban also somewhere here and there. We might even see a Echo or a Maestro ban. From the terms of how Coastline is being played, Maestro is definitely the operator that is being used extensively when compared to Echo. So maybe if they want to counter this on a very team level, a target ban, Maestro is the go-to, but Echo definitely could hit the ban phase as well. We've seen him do that almost for every single match except for a few here and there. So do you agree with me on that, Blackjack?
Well, given Echo and Maestros, they are of course very powerful with both their Evil Eyes and Yokai Jones respectively, I would argue maybe the Echo ban might come out from either of these teams, because of course Echo's Joan is just that little bit more versatile given the fact that it can move around the map. And of course he has 2 of them. And while Maestro does have 2 Evil Eyes, they have to be stationed in very specific spots, because they cannot be moved off of the one position that they are in. So maybe we might see the Echo ban come out from both of these teams. Of course, the Echo ban only makes sense. Both Yokais are very, very good for plant denial, especially in late game situations if the attacker's IQ is taken off the board, or somehow the Yokai drone has survived all the way down to the dying seconds of the round. That's when we've seen so many Echo plays, all the way up to the Invitationals, where Echo has been a very huge operator for all of the teams to play on. And even though Maestro brings a similar sort of denial to the plate, Echo just has that little one thing about on Maestro, that is the movement of his drone, which makes him that much more fearsome to play against, especially because, of course, that he has 2 drones, which was at one point 1 drone. I remember very early in my own Siege career when Echo just had 1 drone. People didn't want to play Echo primarily because they didn't see the point in having 1 drone that could be destroyed very easily by any operator in the game. But with 2 drones, he's seen a massive spike ever since, and he's now the legendary operator we know him as today. But looks like we've got a little bit of technical issues coming out from the side of Team Waha. Their fifth, is apparently still loading, according to what they have told us just a little bit ago. And we're just waiting for them to join in, as we'll be underway with the match as soon as they're in, of course. But you know, everyone at home, I'm sure is bored. Lockdown in effect. You know, everyone's sitting at home waiting for everything to come back to normal so that they can go out, meet their friends, hang out. I personally cannot wait, I'll tell you, to go out once again. But, you know, safety first, as we hope everybody back home is following social distancing, staying, keeping clean and staying safe, as both of us are. Speaking of which, Foxy, going forward from this match, you know, Zealand Esports versus Team Waha is the match right now, but of course we do have the game between Point 8 and the Peacemakers after this. So, any thoughts on both of those teams there?
Point 8 has been definitely proving me wrong time and again on the way they are playing. I mean, it's been amazing to watch them play like that. Point 8 definitely putting the rounds on board for themselves, and maybe, I think, if not, Point 8 is going to be one of those teams that make sure they top the leaderboard in Division 3 and stay on top for that matter and get themselves that promotion onto Division 2 in Season 3. I don't know. It's just my assumption on the way they've been playing so far. Let us see how far we're going to go with that. But meanwhile, like you said, coming back to the matter in hand, we're going to have a Point 8 match coming up next against the Peacemakers. The Peacemakers, got to keep this in mind, they have been relegated from Division 2. They've had fights with better teams. That only means that better experience that TPM holds for themselves. But it only stands to see how these teams play out on a map that they go to. Because so this one thing I want to I just want to address out to the audience as well is we've seen the skill saturation in Siege turn out on a team level in terms of what map they choose as well, and that is definitely a factor that affects on how a match goes down. Some teams are aggressive, some teams do not convert on entry frags, whilst others definitely make sure they get themselves at least one entry frag. Some teams are a little too passive, some teams rely very heavily on information. There's so many different outlooks to it, and I just think it all comes down to how every team plays a single and a particular map. And that is what brings me to the match in hand. That is Zealand Sports versus Team Waha. And we are seeing them go on Coastline. Coastline is a map that definitely needs so much coordination between each other, especially when you're attacking. You want to make sure you don't get picked off at the wrong time, and the C4 plays on this map are definitely going to come alive, at least for the defense. This map is a little more attacker favored. Definitely it is. On the way these sites are designed, there's literally an entire skylight that gives you a line of sight over almost the entirety of the map, except for the hard walls that you cannot reach out to, obviously. And again, that's why we have the reinforcements. But coming back to our match in hand here, we will be seeing Zealand Sports and Team Waha having a little bit of a disconnection issue here. As all right, looks like he has joined back. All right, are we ready to rumble? As we will be. Excuse me, I'm going to use that for the overtime. I just got a little too excited, but I'm not going to be saying that again. As we are up and running with Zealand Sports versus Team Waha on Coastline. Blackjack, take it away.
Thank you very much, Foxy. And indeed, the wait is over, ladies and gentlemen, as we are here at the WWE Black Esports Club League for Rainbow Six Siege in the match between Zillant Sports and Team Mwaha on Coastline right here. Match 2 of day 1 of Division 3 right here in Season 2. So many numbers being thrown around, as the first ban from the side of Team Mwaha is going to be the Jackal. There we go. We were talking about this just before the match. The Jackal ban obviously makes sense because it's a standard ban, mind you, but it's a ban that still makes a whole lot of sense because you want to roam with absolute absolute clarity and zero worries about a certain operator who can track your footprints, you know, because you'll be leaving tracks all over the place as a roamer, and that is exactly why Jackal gets banned quite a lot. As the second attacker ban from Zillant Esports is going to be the Montaigne, another pretty standard ban. We see Montaigne banned a lot, not just in ranked leagues, but also in, well, not like pretty much everywhere, really. Montaigne is a fearsome operator in the right hands, and we all know exactly how fearsome Monty can be thanks to Reckoning Esports. I brought that point up before, but, you know, it can never be overstated, as Mira is another operator to face the ban wave right here, getting banned from Zillant Esports, and looks like the Spaniards are not going to be allowed to play in their home turf, as the Team Mwaha are going to be the last to ban, and they will be taking out the Valkyrie right there. And with that, the ban phase is off the board and over and done with. And Foxy, anything you have to say about the bans we've got right here?
So just like we talked about, the Spaniards not getting to play their home map, that is going to be the Jackal and Mira taken off the board. Meanwhile, the Montaigne, I can only understand the Montaigne ban coming up because we actually have quite the map structure where Montaigne could be exploited, if not used to its perfection. We have seen some amazing plays being pulled out with the Monty in hand, and we've seen the perfect example of that from Reckoning Esports. That is Ninja Freak for that player in specific. He's been amazing with that operator, and we've seen him exploit the use of Montaigne so much that every single match after that match that we saw, Montaigne ban is a perma ban when it comes to Reckoning Esports. So Montaigne out of the board, definitely. I was expecting maybe a Blackbeard come out to ban, but the Blackbeard is definitely going to be put out on the play. Viper is going to be on that Blackbeard. Meanwhile, let's take a quick look at these rosters. Nexus, Danu, Roxanne, Sean and Mello on the side of Team Mwaha, or Constant Esports as we like to call them. As we will be seeing the side of Zillant Sports, that is Prey, Zillant Flank, Enigma, Kingfish and Viper CDX on the side of Zillant Sports. So I was having this conversation with Lord Render last night on the interview as well, and we were just discussing on how the teams are on the South India's level of things, as I feel like South India has produced, if not one of the best teams and a really good pool of talented players in Siege for that matter. We have Zillant Sports, we have XTM, Exterminate, we saw their match as well, that really came close. We've seen Mocking Ninjas that come out from base of Chennai, and I've had in fact the pleasure of meeting Mocking Ninjas on LAN as well. And one of the LANs that I was organizing, they were there on the top 4 teams there on the main stage. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing a few names here and there. Definitely I am, but that doesn't mean that I'm forgetting them out of this because I just cannot remember every single team right now. But I can definitely remember a few that have been on my mind for the past few days, and that is what keeps me up. You know, that is what makes me want more from Siege, and that is exactly what we like to see as well. It looks like Zillant Sports will be emphasizing to a little more of bottom floor take, definitely, because having a lot of emphasis on the top floor, excuse me, that is going to be the Blackbeard rappelled onto the hookah side, while the bottom floor emphasis from the side of the defense is really held on well. They've got 3 people downstairs, while Sean is going to be on side. He's going to help everybody he can, but where did he get taken off from? Alright, Viper CDX is going to convert on him through the rotation ult that he made for himself, while Nexus is going to catch his prey. Very ironically, that is going to be prey taken off the board, while Kingfish is going to be down as well. Not exactly sure where that went down, but the down obviously not going to fend off the defenders. Well, never mind. Roxanne gets a little too aggressive, and he's going to get taken out by the Enigma. We did see the Buck watching out for anybody getting aggressive, while Mello is going to be alone on side. It's a 3 versus 3 now, 3 versus 4 for that matter, as the revive has come in onto Kingfish. Danu is going to be holding down here while Melo is going to get two for his
Oh.
all right for himself as Melo with the Alda, not stopping. He's going to get three. Melo, what are you doing? He's going to get Enigma with a quick headshot. It all comes down to Kingfish and Melo with the 4K.
Well then.
Whoa, all right, Maestro. Alrighty then. Melo not stopping. Totally not Melo here.
Oh.
Is so all right, Maestro. Looks like Team One didn't even need any emphasis on the bottom floor until they have Melo all by himself on the side. You push Melo to a corner. What is he gonna do? He's gonna pounce on you and take you down exactly like he did in that round. 1-0 is gonna be the scoreline as we proceed to round 2.
Well, that's definitely one for the highlights reel right there. Melo on the Maestro with the 4K. Just absolutely tearing through the attacking team of Zillant in this first round. Of course, that was the very first round of the game as we see the 6-pick out of Sledge into the Ying from the side of Viper and Nexus out of the Pulse into the Goyo. Ying, of course, she only has 3 Candelas, but she also has 2 smokes to go along with those Candelas. And,
Attackers need to locate and
you know,
defuse as
a
many
good
bombs
Ying
as they
player can certainly take an entire team down. You know, just ask Hungry from Penta. He would know very well on how that works. And everybody remembers his very, very flash and dash ace on Border. But that is, of course, a thing of the past. Whether or not Hungry can repeat those performances only remains up to him. And whether or not Zillant or Team Waha can repeat the performances that got them to the Division 3 so far also remains up to them. As we see Roxanne, he's on the Jaeger this time around looking for that drone that just jumped off the railing. Unfortunately, Roxanne, you know, that drone's not here, buddy. You're gonna have to look elsewhere for your drone is in a different part of the map. With that being said, we're going to be moving on to action phase nice and quickly for both of these teams right here as the match between Zillant Esports and Team Waha promises to only get more and more exciting. As Melo will, of course, be the man of the hour once again. 4K from him, man, I tell you. That's one of the best Maestro plays I have seen in a long time. Congratulations to Melo for that. But whether or not he's going to be in the clutch situation for his team again depends on whether or not Waha want him to be left alone inside a site all over again. Zillant Esports, on the meanwhile, they're going to be looking to position themselves a little better, try and take out the roam game as fast as possible. And there we go. The girl's going to get tagged up, but Enigma's going to miss pretty much all of his bullets after that, as Nexus is allowed to get away with his life. Only 10 HP to his name, and he manages to scurry back to be helped on by Roxanne on the Jaeger inside of Theater, I believe that is. In the meanwhile, we've got Flank moving into VIP Lounge. He's going to try and get somebody inside of 90 shots are fired, and no damage being done to either operator for the time being, as the roam game from Team Waha is definitely proving to be a little bit more than Zillant probably were expecting initially, but they are going to try and adapt and overcome as much as possible. As look at Dhanu over here on the meat. He's got the SMG in hand, just pulling up on the white stairs right there. No problem for him. As behind this Goyer shield right here inside of Theater sits the Jaeger, who's trying to find any operators from inside of Red Hallway. Red Hallway, excuse me. Dhanu once again on the long flank. He's already out by Luggage, which could be a massive, massive play from the mute right here because he's completely uncontested for the time being, even inside of Billiards right here. As Nexus and Roxanne are working to distract the attackers. And shots are fired. Dhanu is going to actually pull back. Looks like he was spotted out for the time being. And there's an attacker going for him inside. As, oh dear me, Enigma's going to take down Zillant. That's not how you do. And Flank goes down. The buck is off the board before it could do a whole lot of vertical playing. And there we go. The Goya finally does go down as Kingfish is going to make up for that little bit of lapse of judgment. But Enigma's going to go down to Dhanu. In the meanwhile, the mute on white stairs is proving to be the play needed for Team Waha. Once again, the mute's going to rotate back towards South Hallway and Luggage, towards Aquarium, and through the Billiards room, as this push onto VIP is proving to be very expensive for the side of Zillant. Kingfish has gone down as well to Dhanu. The mute with the SMG is doing a whole lot of work and putting Zillant Esports to the test right here, as he knows that there's long angles from inside a bedroom that he has to contest with, and the Jaeger takes a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot. He's managed to safely rotate out from Theater for the time being, and Zillant are down to a 4 versus 2 situation. And both of their operators are on full HP, but it's of course the dying seconds of the round, the last 10 seconds, and they have to make the play happen. They've got the diffuser and the Ying, but will they be able to make it work? Viper takes a lot of damage as the Ying goes for the peak again. He's gonna get taken out, and Nomad goes down as well. Mellow once again with the 1v2 at the end of the round with a Maestro Zolda shooting away to glory, even does some damage to his fellow Smoke as round 2 goes to Team Waha.
The one thing that definitely Zealand Sports is going to do next time they fight Team Waha is ban the Maestro. Alright, so maybe you don't want to be taking out the Mira, maybe you don't want to be taking out the Valkyrie. Maestro ban is going to be very necessary if you want to make sure Mellow does not stop you like that. And a really good double frag. It definitely did come down to him getting those kills, but even if he wouldn't have got them, I don't think the win was secured for the attackers anyway. They wasted so much time on the top floor trying to get their own game off, and they got picked off one after one. So a really bad emphasis in terms of how they made that attack happen. There was nobody to cut off rotations, nobody rappelling onto the white window, nobody making their way in from luggage. It was just 4 attackers straight up pushing Penthouse from the side of Hall of Fame, and no composure, in fact, in that attacking strategy that we saw Zealand Sports bring out for themselves. Definitely not something you want to be doing, at least not at this level of play. We're witnessing the Division 3 match day 1 of the WD Black, the Esports Club League. You are definitely wanting to step up your plays here. You want to make sure every single every single push is well thought, and the conversion comes in at the right time as well. Nexus is going to be alright. Look at that soft breach coming in from the side of Constant Esports here. Oh, excuse me, Team Waha. I see the CS in them, and it just confuses me sometimes. Anyways, we'll be seeing quite the self-destruction on the Soana wall. Usually, it's mostly, I would say, foot-level holes that are made over here. But looks like Team Waha is a little too confident with the gunfights that they've been taking so far, and I wouldn't blame them, man. Definitely Dhanu with the SMG-11. We saw him pick off everybody one by one. And it did essentially come down to that mute making those flanks time and again. He went for the flank first, got caught out, came back to side. Went for the flank again, got caught out. He didn't get caught out actually. He caught 2 attackers for himself, and really impactful play from the man. Dhanu is going to be once again stationed inside hookah. He's getting drawn, but the mute jammers are what is preventing the drones from coming in, at least into the doorways of the hookah. Is still going to be holding this. Not exactly sure if Dhanu knows that this peak is not really necessary for him, and that is exactly what we are seeing him do. He's not extending this peak even for face chipping with a quick sweep either, but Zealand is going to be winning that fight anyway. What a push from flank here. Meanwhile, Prey is going to get down, but the rev should come in soon. Not exactly sure who is that person who downed him. Nobody actually, as everybody's going to be on site. But look at this. The down did come in from kitchen, and what an angle, being a reverse angle for that matter. Nexus being employing that on towards luggage, making sure nobody establishes that push for them, as still be seeing them. Still going to be holding this. Nothing to connect here while the push from the side of Zealand is happening, and looks like Zealand might finally, you know, they've got their crossfire established, they've got their attack sorted out, and this might be the round where they get themselves that victory. Sean is going to be close with only 2 gas babes in his pocket. He's got to make sure he holds this down, but still have the Alda alive, still have Melo alive. But Sean is going to land his shots onto Kingfish. That is 1 kill for himself. Zofia taking on the board. They still have Nexus playing offside, but Melo is here to shut down the Nomad. That's a 3 versus 3 now. They've got to make sure they work on the man count, but Prey is moving in through the smoke. Enigma is going to find Nexus. While it all comes down to Enigma is going to find Sean as well, and once again it all comes down to Melo. Melo is going to get 1. Does he get 2 more? No, he won't. And Zealand Sports with the Ash play from Enigma is going to secure themselves a round 3 as they finally put a round on board on coastline here. And a really good play from Enigma. Got himself 3 frags that secured that round victory. Very important, being there at the right place at the right time. Really good play, Enigma. That is what Zillion Sports needed, and that is what this makes this match all the more interesting. Round 4, as we're proceeding to Blackjack. What are your thoughts?
Well, so far the game has certainly been very exciting, especially down to Mello and Enigma. Both of these players have really turned up the heat when it comes down to it, being in the right place at the right time, of anticipating a hookah defense from the defending team, and that is exactly where we'll be headed in round 4 right here. The scoreline is 2-1, still in favor of Team Waha, but it is only a one-round lead in the early game, so it's kind of hard to make predictions. I always, stress certain points. You'll find me repeating a lot of things when there's not a whole lot to say, but only because there are certain points about Rainbow Six that can never really be overstated, right? We've seen games that start out with like 5-0s or 5-1s going into row swap that end up being an overtime victory for the team that was initially losing. On the opposite side, we've seen matches that begin with an equalized scoreboard, say like a 3-3 going into roll swap, that end up being a complete sweep when the roll swap does come into effect. So, variation is the name of the game with Rainbow Six Siege, and everyone's just trying to improvise to make sure that they are not taken off the board earlier than they want it to be, and eventually get the victory. And that is exactly what Zillion Esports are going to be trying to make happen here, as they want to make sure Team Waha aren't allowed to get away with winning round after round after round. That being said, of course, Team Waha, they've mounted a couple of very good defenses, as Roxanne is here in Sunrise Bar for the time being. Took out a drone right there, and he's going to be on the main roam game for the side of his team, as there are some nice and cheeky vertical angles being established, but no, Nex is going to go down early. The pulse is off the board through Enigma, the Ash, as Viper's taking a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot of work being done by the roamers of Team Waha. Enigma sitting inside of Kitchen right now. He knows that there's somebody properly playing in Sunrise Bar, and there is, for that matter, but that is just outside in hallway, right in the Harry Potter spot. That is Roxanne on the Jaeger with the carbine. He knows that there's somebody inside the kitchen, and both of them are in a stalemate, but no, Jaeger fires that one shot that gives away his position. The Ash goes for the peek, but no, Jaeger only takes a little bit of damage. Ash not so much, as a push on the blue stairs is going to happen, and the Ash will win that fight as expected, as he will now fall back, making sure that he doesn't get picked out. But there's somebody inside of main lobby, and oh, the Ash almost wins that fight. He actually will, as Enigma's got a triple kill for himself, and he's on round to win this once again for his team. 3 kills to his name, all kills on the board from him, as Kingfish is going to take down Mello. That's a big kill. The Maestro's on the board. It's all down to Sean on the smoke with the SMG and the shotgun, and he has only 2 characters left in his name. As the push from blue stairs is going to happen, the attacker should spot him out. Shots are fired. The plant is off, and there we go. He's a shot from all sides of the board, as Enigma is going to pick up a 4K for himself this round, giving Zillion Esports round 4.
Enigma with the quad kill. What a play from the Ash. Started up with a fiery start in the last round. Definitely got herself that 3K to secure the round victory. And once again, this round as well, a quad kill for Enigma on Ash. And what a play from this man here. Really, definitely, he's doing so much work for his team right now, dropping bodies here and there, left, right, and center. We saw him take out a kill onto Kitchen, that he moved on to blue stairs. He knew exactly what to do. He went back onto main lobby and converted on the kill on the flank as well. The man knows exactly what he's doing, and that is exactly what we love to see, for that matter. As finally we are seeing the attacker rounds being put on board. That is what we all love to see, is that not? Because a map like this, you want to make sure that when you're starting off an attack, you get maximum rounds for yourselves. The way Team Waha has been playing this, I'm not saying they're doing any mistakes, but they are just not able to fight against Enigma's Ash plays here. He's bringing 2 victories for Zillion Sports, and both of them all on his back. So definitely Team Waha are gonna have to step up what they're doing. Maybe a better roam game is what they need. Mello, though, so far he's not gotten a chance to shine in the past 2 rounds. Definitely first 2 rounds very destructive for that man, but only time can tell us how the game will proceed ahead, as we already have an equalizer for ourselves. As alright, looks like a fire rate is I think that was a misclick maybe from Nexus, but he did change his fire rate there on the vector. And for that matter, in fact, just insight on how I play sometimes. So when I'm warming up for my tournament matches, I just sit on terrorist stunt and I try high fire rate guns on a single click fire rate, you know, a single bullet. I shift that and I try and do that. So that just gives me all the while more control over the gun plays that I make. At least that is what I feel. You know, it makes me passive when I have to be. It makes me aggressive when I want to be. And I think that is a dynamic that every player should have for themselves to be there and make excuse me, make their plays at the right time in the right ways. And as I speak about it, Enigma is going to get shut down by Nexus with the bullet holes that we saw him employ earlier. And what a play, and a very big frag for that matter. Enigma has been that one player that Zealand Sports has been needing to make sure they get themselves those round victories. Maybe this time around, Team Waha might as well win this round ahead as Enigma gets taken off early. Seeing Zealand flank make his way through. He knows there's somebody playing on the bar area. That is a bar counter. That is the Jaeger definitely playing. Roxanne, he's been amazing with his gunplay as well. It only stands to see if he's going to win that fight. Yes, he does. Roxanne is going to get a really nice play. Didn't get to catch out on cam just a second ago as Mello is going to get another frag on Viper. It all comes down to Prey and Kingfish. That's 2 versus 5 now. We've got to make sure they fight through this. Kingfish is going to get a frag for himself. But where is the fight going on? That is going to be an aquarium while Prey is making his way through hookah. Kingfish has got to make sure he looks for any flank coming in from the side of luggage. But he's just going to maneuver back. EMP is being thrown off as now the position gets given him. And Roxanne with the plays. He's going to get Prey as well. As it all comes down to Kingfish now. And he's going to get dispatched as well. Team Waha, you know, win this matchup on round 5. And like I said, Zealand Sports' maximum priority right now is going to be keeping Enigma alive, as he's what is bringing those the scoreboard alive for the side of Zealand Sports, making sure they put those rounds on board for themselves as we proceed to round 6 before the side swap. Blackjack, what do you think? Are we seeing an equalizer coming from Zealand Sports, or will we see Team Waha take this before the side swap 4-2?
Well, it certainly depends on whether or not they're feeling like, you know, pulling up with all guns blazing in one particular area, because if you ask me, their attack in the last round was a little spread thin, especially with Enigma going down early. Of course, that turned out to be a massive factor for Team Waha to take advantage of, winning that round very comfortably going forward, of course. As round 6, last round before the roll swap comes into effect, and we're going to be going to the first floor kitchen site from the defending team of Team Waha. Always nice to see the side we played, of course, as you know, the meta shifted. It really has shifted. It just dawned on me how much the meta on Coastline has shifted, because nobody wants to go Penthouse anymore. You know, we haven't seen Penthouse come out. We've seen both the bars come out, Blue and Sunrise. That has been a site that at one point used to be the site that nobody wanted to go to, but now it's just the exact opposite. Oh, how the turntables. As we're going to be moving forward into round 6's action phase right here, as the last touches on this defense from the side of the Team Waha, are going to be put in to make sure that they can stop this attack from Zealand. But whether or not that's going to work out, only time will tell. Is that a double move jammer from Danu inside of theater right there? It looks like it. Yeah. Yep, it most certainly is. Yes, sir. And Roxanne's going to be taking full advantage of the fact that there are 2 mid jammers that that will not let the attackers drone his exact position where he's playing behind the shield, unless of course someone manages to sneak the drone in through wide hallway, which of course also looks impossible. Danu, he's got a lot of mid jammers in his pocket, and he's putting them to great use, making sure that the roamers have all the intel denial that they need. And of course, Meat will know when a drone gets jammed, which of course is a telltale sign that an attacker might be looking to make that push happen from that area. And the Goyo, of course, sitting inside of White Stairs as well. Looks like it is a stacked hold on that particular area of the map. Theater, White Hallway, and White Stairs from the defenders. Whether or not Zealand is going to be falling for this trap once again remains to be seen. But oh, dear me, looks like it's a luggage push from the IQ right here. She's, of course, joined by one of the other attackers, and a C4 comes out. Not going to do anything. Prey takes a lot of damage, though, as a Buck falls in to a security room to try and flank. And he will see the Goyo take a bit of damage off him, as Anu's going to get a double. Prey and Kingfish go down to him. And the Goyo is going to find the block. What is happening? Zillant falling apart oh so quickly right here. Once again, the roam clear proving to be way too expensive for them, as it is all down to Zillant Flank and Viper, excuse me, my tongue just slipped there. The Ying and the Nomad are the last remaining for the attacking team as they have to make a play happen. But there's, of course, Mute on 90 and Jaeger inside of Theater to deny them this exact play. As there we go, Ying's going to shoot at Dhanu, but Dhanu knows where the Ying's coming from right now. But no, Viper's going to get the kill on 2. Oh, never mind. That was not the Ying. That was the Nomad. Oh, that was a big mistake for me. Do excuse me, everybody in chat. But the Ying has gone down as it is all down to Zillant Flank to try and make a play happen. A flashman goes out. He's going to flash himself. And the Mute, well, he won't be able to take advantage of it just yet. But Zillant is coming back for this peak right here. But there we go. Nexus is right there to stop the Nomad from making any more plays. As Team Waha looks like they're going to be going 4-2 into row swap right here. Round 7 is on the board. What a round indeed, coming out from Team Waha. Once again, the roam hold, my man, is what takes Team, Zillant Sports so long to clear out that it just does not work out. It's just so well executed. You know, you see the Mute Jammers, the Goyo Shields, the ADSs from Jaeger, all of them just come together so beautifully in Theater that Zillant, you know, they just cannot push through it. But with that being said, of course, we're going to be going into role swap, which means it is now Team Waha on the attack and Zillant on defense right here. Foxy, any thoughts on what we might be seeing from this point onwards?
So the way so far Waha has been playing, really amazing, definitely. Something I feel Zillant Sports is lacking right now is, like I said before the match started, Coastline is a map where you need maximum coordination between your teammates. You want to make sure your positions are better, and more than that, all in all, you've got to make sure crossfires are always established. If there is no refrag potential for your team, there is no potential for victory as well, and that is exactly why Team Waha has been winning out those rounds against Zillant Sports, as we did see so many bodies getting dropped from the side of Zillant. No refrags. That is what is costing them. There's nobody there positioned to collect a refrag for his teammates, and that is what is costing them 4 rounds already now. And definitely 2 of those rounds did go away in the side of Team Waha, just with the amazing strategy that we saw them employ onto the top floor. Zillant could have definitely played that better. We saw a 2-man stack coming in from VIP. We saw a 2-man stack coming in from Luggage. Maybe somebody on the rappel onto White Window, somebody pushing in from the hallway, maybe even watching the skylight. I don't know. I'm just throwing off ideas for Zillant to come back to this match ward and realize the mistakes that they did. But they're definitely going to have to step up their game now, because a 4-2 scoreline as we are proceeding to the side swap. Let us see how that is going to make a difference. Sean has already made his way. That is the Buck. He's got the skeleton key in hand. Does he spotted the Jaeger? That is playing inside of... oh, that is Enigma actually. A very important player. Buck is going to do some reconstruction for himself. He's not going to find anybody, but they do know somebody's playing now. As Enigma, he's going to get taken out as well. And look at this. Team Waha cleaning up the side of Zillant Sports, while Kingfish is finally here to answer back on Dhanu. Zillant flank is still going to be down. A possible revive coming in anytime soon. But Kingfish, what are you doing, my man? He's actually not going to help his teammate here. Looks like he's got another fight to worry about. I think that is Mello creeping up on the bandit. And maybe he just doesn't want to take that risk for himself. Oh, the peek comes in from the bandit. He knows his OP is playing over there. But does he know there's somebody outside Hall of Fame as well? He's going to be in quite the corner here. And look at this Roxanne ignoring the Mozzie completely. He's finally going to get that frag for himself. I don't think the Mozzie got blended over there. But Roxanne is not converting on that kill. But Zofia is going to convert on the Mozzie instead. It's a 2 versus 4 already, as Team Waha with the perfect refrag game for themselves, placing them exactly where they have to be. It all comes down to Prey and Viper CDX. Prey is going to get one. That is going to be Roxanne. A very important kill for them. It's a 3 versus 2 established. If they can still make this happen, Zillant Sport have got to make sure they make it happen, in fact, for that matter. Free fast coming from Prey. He does get noticed and his position does get given away. But the stuns are coming in from the side of attack as well. And the plan could go anytime now. Prey is still going to be on the default ping spot while Viper, is going to be on the denial spot. But oh, look at this push up. He's going to get the cover. He's going to get the planter as well. It all comes down to Sean all of a sudden as that cover from the planter did not work out for the side of Team Waha. And what a double team tag duty coming in from the side of Zillion Sports is what is going to secure them this run. I don't think Sean can do a whole lot here. He's going to get the Jaeger, but does he get the Legion? That's the real question. He won't. And Zillion Sports are going to win by the nick of the time here. Legion being on 1 HP. The Buck could have almost done that, but with the sprint from the hallway does get hurt out. And that is exactly why Zillion Sports is going to be the victor of that match. And really nice tag team play from the Jaeger and the Legion. Really good executed. That did come down to a dying seconds of the round there. But that is what you want. A little more emphasis maybe in terms of how they're wasting time and how the roamers are being put out for the side of Zillion Sports. Maybe that does buy them time to make sure that the push onto sites comes a little late. But for that matter, Zillion really played that well. And that is what is going to put another round on both themselves. 3-4 is the scoreline as we proceed to round 8 on kitchen and service defense, with the leaders still being Team Waha.
Alrighty then, looks like we might just be in for a more interesting game than maybe I gave Zillion Sports credit for, as they did definitely pick up their round 7 going in their favor, as round 8 now means that there's a 4-3 scoreline in favor still of Team Waha, but the Zillion could pull this one out just in the nick of time. They did manage to, and even though the Buck was the last one remaining, he just wasn't enough to make the play happen for his team. Well, we're going to be seeing the kitchen defense come out from the side of the defending team of Zillion, and they will of course be looking to make somewhat of a similar performance that Team Waha inflicted on them in just a couple rounds ago, where 3 bodies were dropped on the second floor by the roaming defenders, which was of course a sight to behold. But there's no Mute and no Goyo. Prey, he's playing the Jaeger, and Zillion actually has, Zillion Flank has the Ella. Interesting. And there we go. The shots fired means that the SMG from Ella is in play, as Enigma is on the Vigil, that is of course the roaming trio from the side of Zillion Sports. In the meanwhile, Kingfish and Viper are on the Legion and the Smoke respectively, making up the anchors inside of sight. Ella's going to be spotted out in the hallway right here by one of the drones from the attacking team, as they'll be looking to capitalize on that bit of information. But there's the Vision inside of Billiards, who is here to make sure that nobody gets taken out just yet. Time waste is, of course, the main line of thought that the roamers will be looking into, to waste the time of the attackers to the point where they are going to be forced to rush towards site to try and get the plant off, and preferably with a couple bodies less. As there we go, the peak comes out as Enigma does a lot of damage to Nexus, but he's going to be forced to pull back as Sean's going to take down Prey in the meanwhile. But Mela's going to go down to Zillion as well. The Zofia is off the board, as is the Jaeger. 2 big kills confirmed, but the Ella knows there's somebody playing inside of the hallway, as Flank is going to wait for his turn. He doesn't know where the IQ is right now, but he's going to hear her out as the IQ pushes back into VIP, because the Legion is now on the second floor. Jones is still going to spot where the Ella's playing, and she's going to be forced into hookah lounge for the time being, just saving herself from the shot fired from the attackers from inside of Billiards and the hallway, as there's a 3-man push towards this Ella right here. But Kingfish is inside of the 90 hallway towards the south end of the map as the Nomad goes down. But no, the kill will not be confirmed as Ella is taken out by Sean. What a play from the man himself, as Nexus will be revived any second now. And now it is all down to Kingfish in this roam game right here. Enigma solo and HP is probably pulled back. Yep, he's inside of the first floor office for the time being, as Kingfish is going to be spotted. The Nomad chance is going to throw him off for the time being, but he's still going to get the kill onto Sean. What a play from the Legion right there, as he takes down the sledge. He knows that there's one more pushing. The IQ just shows a gun to him and gets the kill. The Legion is out the board. Is now a 2v3, all down to Enigma and Viper to try and make this play happen for their team right now, as Zillion are being push slowly but steadily to the back foot. But with only 30 seconds remaining, Team Waha are going to have to be forced to push in towards site right here to try and get the plant off. And Smoke still has, of course, 2 of his toxic waves in his pocket, which will only make things harder for Team Waha. But he's actually dispensed both of them, one on bathroom and one on the main door, which might just be the big play right here. Enigma's going to get Nexus. That's a big kill right there. As the Nomad has gone down, it's now down to 5 seconds. The IQ's going to get him, and the plan doesn't go down. Roxanne, what are you doing? He's got to go for the plan right now to secure the round for his team. There we go. The timer's been extended. And finally, Thatcher's going to take down this visual as Team Waha, just by the skin of their teeth, are going to win round 8. What a scramble coming out from both teams right there. The Smoke doing so well to delay, but unfortunately just being taken out right at the last second, giving IQ plenty of room to go for the plant, and he had to make a rush for inside of kitchen because of course there were plenty of peak areas that had been established previously from the defending team of Zillant, meaning that he had to make a mad dash for kitchen, leaving Thatcher to cover so that he could extend the round timer. But of course, with that being said, it is 5-3 in favor of Team Waha, as it looks like the Capcan is going to be brought out by the side of Zillant. And that is, of course, Zillant flank, bringing out the Capcan 6, picking out from the Ella into the Russian operator. And it should be very, very interesting to see how Zillant Sports are going to bring out and use the Capcan.
Bomb located by attackers.
Well, as we move on to round 9, of course, the onus is on Zillant to try and make the plays happen for themselves to get the next 2 rounds in their favor, which of course would mean that they would get to equalize nice and quickly so that they could eventually push for a match point. But whether or not they'll be able to is all up to them to make that exact play happen. And well, if you ask me, I would of course love to see some overtime action as we see the Capcan shot being put in by Flank. In the meanwhile, he's going to be very, very aware of where everything's going down, because of course Capcan's traps there somewhat easy to spot, not as easy as they once used to be, of course, being the one-hit kill traps that they used to be with the gigantic and very bright red laser line that they once had. And none of that is in play anymore. Capcan has been turned into more of a intel sort of operator. You know, you can get sound cues from the explosions, and the attackers lose anywhere between 50 to 60 HP. Dunn, meanwhile, has actually lost a little bit of health himself. Looks like it was from Flank, who's playing inside of Sunrise, but the Capcan is going to be forced out of there. And there we go. The peek from Blue is going to take out the Russian operator as Sean gets the kill onto Flank. Getting the first kill for the team Waha right here, as Enigma is establishing some last-second vertical angles for himself inside of kitchen from the second floor. He's going to be joined by Kingfish, who's on the second floor as well on the road, the Legion, and the Warden already. Then I just realized Prey is playing the Warden right now, and he's going to be inside of sight, anchoring for his team, trying to make sure that if they go for a rush plant, Team Waha are stopped accordingly. But for the time being, Waha doesn't have anybody going for the roam clear, as it looks like it's mostly a site focus pushed from the side of the Blue Sunrise bar and the service entrance door. Oh, what a shot from Mello. He's going to take down Prey right there. The headshot onto the Warden is going to deny the operator. The jump in from Kitchen, however, is not going to work out for Danu. He's going to be taken out by Kingfish on the second floor right here. Nice angle being played by the Legion, but there is still Mello sitting outside of service entrance door. As Sean's drone was taken out, he's going to be joined by the IQ in this kitchen push right now, as Viper, in the meanwhile, is sitting inside of kitchen. And the plan is going off already. Nexus is going for the plan. Roxanne's there for cover, as Viper is going to be going down. It's all down to a 4v2 post plant, as now it is all down to Enigma and Kingfish to try and make this play happen for Zillant Esports right here. But will they be able to? The Jaeger has to rush back to site zone as the Legion, as they were caught unawares, and the kill is confirmed on the Jaeger from inside of service entrance, and the Kingfish is going to go down as well. The Legion on blue stairs will not work out, as Roxanne is going to clean up, and Team Waha are going to go to match point right here by winning round 9.
Really well played by Team Waha here. It's going to put them on match point 6-3. And looks like we are seeing a repetition in terms of how the scoreline goes of the last match. A 6-3 scoreline. Then we did see an attempted comeback coming in from the side of solving Hussars in the last match. Maybe this time around as well, we might see something like that coming up. Zealand Sports, if any team is out there that I can surely not underestimate, is definitely going to be Zealand Sports. After what they did to TBD, I don't want to underestimate them. 6-3 is going to be the scoreline, but right now, let's face facts. Team Waha is just playing better. They've been getting in the heads of Zealand Sports. They're making sure they're beating them at their own game. They're not even having to go for their own player. They're making sure that they're getting the emphasis done on site. The plan goes down, and a perfect refrag potential that is being employed from the side of Team Waha. Really good positioning and really good drone work that is giving them so much information to make sure the conversions come in from that team. 6-3 is going to be the scoreline here. Definitely, Team Waha's top priority, that is Constant Esports, is going to be to take this 7-3 for themselves. As we do know for a fact that every single round that you give away, every single round that you lose in this league here is very crucial, because the MVP standings, the league standings, your team standings depend on the round difference that you've got for yourselves. And with that being said, we will be seeing everybody stationed up on hookah, making sure the lines of sights are being established, the rotations and the angles that you need for in case a plan goes down, as that is what went down in the last round. But then again, that was kitchen. There's no denial that you can bring in from the bottom floor. But we're seeing how this works out in just a moment. A drone comes up. Enigma is going to get the drone here, and a roaming maestro of all sorts, as Enigma is still holding this down. We're seeing Danu, that is going to be the Thatcher. He's running the holographic on the AR. Alright, okay, usually I've only seen one player do that, run holographic on every single gun that he's ever played on. That is from Rats, obviously, but then again, I'm nobody to make the judgments on a personal preference that a man has on his gun. That being said, we'll be seeing... Okay, Sean, is that a thing? Can you actually do that? I don't think you can until you're back on the table. Oh, look at that. The Jaeger is going to eat a lot of bullets. Prey, not knowing there's a hole that could work in his disadvantage. They're going to have to make sure that we stay safe for the while Enigma is still going to be in Hall of Fame. Do the attackers know where the Maestro is playing? Oh, he doesn't. Kingfish is going to get a kill, but Thatcher is missing every single shot. And Enigma is going to miss his as well. He's going to get Mello. That is a very important kill. And look at the payback coming from Enigma. He's going to take down Mello with the Maestro. Kingfish is going to get another track for himself, while Danu is still very invested in getting the kill onto the Maestro. That is just going to fall back, while Nexus is going to get Kingfish, finally shutting down the bandit that has been doing so much damage on the side of Team Waha. Danu just pushing down to the hallway. He knows there's a Maestro still playing on the side of Penthouse. But where is Nexus? He's still getting his composure back as he has to rotate all the way back to hookah. 1 minute left now. Danu is going to be in the hallway. A few pre-fires come in from the side of the defense as well as from the offense. That is Nexus. Danu has got to maneuver himself back. Where's the diffuser? I'm not exactly sure. Oh, that is going to be with Nexus. But Danu is actually going to choose to go for this firefight that he has to take with the Maestro. I wouldn't really advise that. The Alda versus the AR, definitely not something you want to be fighting against. But Danu finally making his way through. He's going to employ his EMP grenades, but he's still going to get touched by a Blue Mine. A Viper CDX gets this path. There's nobody playing on blue, and that is just free real estate for Danu at the moment. I still have Zealand flank. That is going to be the smoke holding down this angle. Does he get Danu? Yes, he does. It's 2 versus 1 now. Enigma is going to be on his flank way as well. That's the hallway that he's covering. But Nexus knows exactly where the smoke is playing. He's going to be low. He's going to get that wall bang. What a triple kill coming in from him. But Nexus doesn't know where the last player is. And that is excellent Sports. I'm going to put another round on board for themselves. And round 10 goes to this team as they are making this match all the while more exciting as we proceed to a 6-4 scoreline. And maybe, only maybe I say, this comeback might just be in the books for Zealand Sports.
Oh, most certainly. It is still 6-4 match point in favor of Team Waha, but they could be challenged very easily here. As Foxy said, if there's one team you don't want to underestimate, it is Zealand Sports, especially after what we've seen from them in the qualifiers. They are a force to be reckoned with. Looks like we'll be headed towards the bars from the side of the defense right here. An interesting pick, but a pick they've made with confidence, of course, as we are going to be moving into round 11. Yes, that is round 11. Do excuse me, I got confused for a second. But That, of course, is only natural. I'm just a little hyped, excited for
Attackers
this
need to
game
locate and
to be
defuse
moving
bombs.
forward as it all comes down to these next set of rounds, whether or not this will be the last round of this game or the last round, excuse me, this one more round after this will be in effect. Remains to be seen from both of these teams. The Bars defense, of course, we've seen this come out a few times today, and it's certainly a site that is one of the sites that is it's been favored very recently. It's a site that the defenders have found okay, with with these operators and these tweaks to how we make our holds happen, we can make our this map, excuse me, the site our own. Stumbling over my words quite a bit, but okay, great. Okay, just the way he was breaking the barricade, I thought he might go for a run-up, but of course he's the castle, and his job is to put castle barricades on important entryways of doors and windows to shut down attacker pushes from that area. In the meanwhile, Zealand Sports, of course, they've put up a great fight so far in this game, and they will be looking to continue that in this round with, of course, the Jaeger on the roam, and there we go, the castle barricade on offense has been broken, but Kingfish on the bandit is right here to make sure that he gets the attackers to not push through here, because it is very close to sight, and anybody, if they're allowed control on bar, then Team Waha will capitalize on it very, very quickly. Jaeger, in the meanwhile, I believe he pushed into the second floor bathroom, and there's a drone coming in from Red Hallway. Lesion's going to be spotted inside of Billiards, because we did see Sean on the sledge on the aquarium balcony. He's going to be joined by Nexus to make some plays here. They're going to have to be careful, excuse me, of the roaming defenders, however. Roxanne already inside of VIP, a quick take on the second floor from the side of Team Waha, but will they be able to get the lesion that they are so invested in chasing? Only time will tell. Viper is safe for the time being where he is, but for how long? Gumine goes out as the drone will finally spot him out. Another drone's going to spot him out. The shot should be fired. The Nomad is going to see him, but Enigma's going to take down Thanu, but there we go. The Legion does go down. Viper's off the board as the Jaeger's next up on Roxanne's chopping block. But will that kill be confirmed? Enigma sitting right by the door, and he knows that there's somebody inside of VIP playing. And the Jaeger's going to peek and get the kill. There we go. The Jaeger's off the board. Roxanne's got a double kill for himself early in the round, putting Zillant on the receiving end of some very good roam clear plays right here. And Melo's going to take down Prey. That's another big kill. The castle is off the board, and vertical lines is out being established nice and quickly with more than 60 seconds left in the round. Team Waha looks set to take it, and they don't want Zealand Sports to come back from this any further because they know just how dangerous Zealand can be. It's all down to Flank and Kingfish in this situation to make the plays for their team, keep themselves alive in this match on Coastline right here, but will they be able to flank? He should be seen from the courtyard peaks that have been made. He was the one who made them himself, but of course Kingfish is here on the main lobby to protect that angle for the time being, and they are the only two left for their team in a 4v2 situation as we have just passed the 30-second mark on the round timer, which means that the attackers have to go for this plant any second now. Smoke's gas canister should be going up one by one. He did hear a hatch drop, and he's going to do a lot of damage to Sean and down him and get the kill as well, but the plan is off by Nexus, and it's a post-plant 3v2 situation. That doesn't have to play in. It's all down to the Bandit and the Smoke, who are taking a lot of damage. Roxanne takes one, but he'll be refragged onto by Kingfish, who is sitting in the hallway right here. He knows that there's one inside the kitchen. He's going to go for the peek. No, not quite yet, and the Zofia will end up getting the kill as Team Waha, from what may have been a potential comeback, will shut down Zealand Sports as they will take Coastline 7-4. What a play indeed, coming out from Team Waha on that last attack right there. And look at that scoreline for Enigma, my dude, on 13 kills. Doing so much work for his team, and not to mention Melo and Roxanne for Waha as well, 14 and 11 to them respectively. As with that, we have just ended the second game of tonight, which was between Zealand Sports and Team Waha, which can only mean that there's one more game after this coming up. And that game, of course, promises to be an exciting one as well. Point 8 versus the Peacemakers. So stay tuned for that, everybody, as that has been it from me, Blackjack, and my co-caster and admin Foxy, as we will be right back. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD Black, the Esports Club League for Rainbow Six Siege, powered by LG Ultragear in association with ACD Fibernet, Zotac Gaming, and Games The Shop. I'm your host, Blackjack, and joining me is my co-host, Am and Foxy, as we are back in the beautiful Italian map of Villa for the game between the Peacemakers and Point 8 right here, which sure promises to be another exciting game. We've had two very close games so far, both of them going to 7-5 and 7-4 respectively, excuse me. And this one sure seems like it might just go down the same road, as Point 8 are going to be banning the Ying straight off the bat. Alrighty then, a very meta ban. Of course, Ying currently is in a very, very powerful position. As Foxy, what do you feel about the game we've got on hand?
We did see Villa come out today in the beginning of the match, and it was a really nice match that we got to witness as well. And it only stands to see on how this match is going to turn up, as a little bit of a different ban that we're going to see here. Definitely Montaigne was banned in that match as well, but Ying ban coming in straight out the bat from Point 8. They don't want to be using the Ying, neither do they want to be playing against the Ying, as they'll be starting off on a defense first, as the Peacemakers are going to take out Echo. That is going to be the second ban. A last defensive ban from Point 8. Very quick, actually, everybody. That is, the ban phase really went down quite in less time. We'll be seeing Mira is going to get taken off the board. So none of those Mira plays that we usually get to see in terms of how Aviator and Games Room is being played off. And excuse me, as I bring my throat back up and running to this game here. The Peacemakers, they are the team that got relegated from Division 2 onto Division 3, as they just could not survive the wrath of the teams that we saw them face against on Division 2. But finally, they're here on Division 3. Maybe they can keep their performance on board for themselves. They want to make sure that you stay on top of that leaderboard in Division 3 and get yourselves a secured spot with the promotion onto Division 2 at the end of Season 2. But it only stands to see if P8 doesn't allow TPM to do that. Seeing a 6th pick coming in from the Legion onto the Valkyrie, as well as Bira is going to be running that operator. And I've said this time and again, I'm going to say it again, just a little emphasis on how Point 8 came to existence in terms of their name. That is Bira having a kill death ratio of 0.8. The teammates just decided to meme that around and make it their team name as well. And Point 8 so far has been doing amazing with their plays. So let's take a quick look at both these rosters. Heartless, Bira, Ash, Quentin, Toxic AF on the side of Point 8. While we have Heathen, Baba Yaga, Kick-Ass, Optic, and Strix. That is on the side of the Peacemakers. Strix definitely is the new player coming in for the side of the Peacemakers. And in terms of how he's been playing this game so far, he's a very old player. You guys might know him by the name of Admiral previously, but it looks like he's had a name change recently. And he's going to be running the IQ this time around for his team. Running the LMG as well. And the ACOG. Alright, usually I see the Holo coming out because, I don't know, it just offers a little more freedom to the picks that you try to take while peeking long always. But then again, the ACOG definitely helps you getting a little more magnified line of sight for yourselves, as we'll be seeing Heathen stationed outside. I think he's just trying to find a drone spot for himself. Yes, he does. He's going to make sure that he's safe from any potential windows that we could see the attackers, or defenders rather, get aggressive on. That's not going to be the case right now. Heartless is going to be on the main search. He's got the Mozzie Pest with him as well. And usually we see Omai being played here just because he has the magnets for himself to stop any and all projectiles coming in from the side of the attack. But there are no projectile operators that could take off the shield actually from the side of the Peacemakers. Really, I would say it's a little bit of a misplay in terms of how operator drones are being played, because you want to make sure you have at least, if not more, soft breach potential for yourselves. Definitely, Strix could be running the breach charges. No, he's not actually. So the only soft breach that we do see TPM bring on board is going to be the Jackal with a shotgun, obviously. So that is still not the soft breach that you want to be attempting. Admiral making, excuse me, I'm going to have to call him Strix from now on, definitely, as he does spot the Omai playing there, and he's got to get the headshot. That is going to be Toxic, dispatched already by the IQ. IQ getting a little too excited with that kill, almost landing his shots onto the red stairs, but he doesn't know there's somebody playing behind the shield. he gets a little too over aggressive, and Bira is here to punish him for that. And look at the strategy being employed from the defense here, and actually a very different rotation that we usually get to see. And this is going to work out perfectly for them because TPM has zero soft breach projectile function for themselves. There's no Raiders running any of those, no Zofia, no Ash, none of that. And one of the Nomad charges do get triggered. I'm not exactly sure where that went off, but Bira is here to collect a double kill for himself. Looks like the 0.8 KD is not really a 0.8 KD after all, as the Jaeger is going to go for this white peak, but he's going to win that fight as well. Against the Thermite, it all comes down to a 1 versus 3 where Heathen is the last left alive for the side of the Peacemakers. And that did fall apart very quickly for the side of the Peacemakers. It's not enough utility that they have to throw around. Shield does get noticed. The peek comes in from Bira. Nothing to catch so far. A few tags do come along with the double duty from the Valkyrie and the Jaeger. But Bira is here to collect the third kill for himself as well, as TPM are going to fall apart against the defense being offered from the side of 0.8 here. And what a play from the team.
Oh, absolutely. What a play from 0.8 right there to begin proceedings on Villa right here, winning out the second floor Aviator site, as we'll be moving to Trophy on round 2 right here. A more familiar site, if you will, for all of us here watching the WD Black Esports Club League, especially when it comes to Villa on higher tier divisions 2 and 3, that is, excuse me, 2 and 1, where you see even less of Aviator than we see in Division 3. As we see, Heartless is going to be going for the 6-pick out of the Bandit into the Pulse, which can only mean we're going to be seeing some vertical play with the cardiac sensor. Or maybe, I'm just being too greedy in what I want to see from 0.8, but they are, of course, a team you don't want to mess with. And in the meanwhile, the Peacemakers, if I'm not wrong, were relegated from Division 2 to Division 3 between seasons. Unfortunately, they were found wanting in Division 2. And here they are, trying to make their way, hopefully, for them, back to Division 3 by winning out all of their games here. But of course, that is a long and difficult road, and who knows what the future holds, because we'll be coming back to the present day, where they've got their first game of Division 3 against 0.8 right here. And, 0.8, we did see them pull off an amazing play against, Gamer Syndicate, going 7-3 on Clubhouse. That was, of course, a couple days ago not just a couple days ago, last week, I believe it was, in the qualifiers week, which was, of course, an amazing play. And ever since, they've been continually winning match after match, and here they are in Division 3, hoping to move up in the league to further divisions. As we see, the Pulse is going to spot a couple of operators using his cardiac scanner, one in the basement of all places, and one on the... No, is that pantry stairs right there? Is that still basement below pantry? I'm not entirely certain where that is, but Heartless will be also aware. And actually, that is pantry now that I think about it. And the Pulse will know exactly what's going on. He's just making sure that his flank is clear. As shots are fired by the Mozzie. That's toxic. As there's, of course, a Jaeger to support them as well. The Seaver comes out. Will that claim a life? Not just yet, but Heathen's going to take down Heartless. The IQ is going to take some shots as well. And the Mozzie should go down in a second. No, he does! Even though Heathen is solo on HP, as the Jackal does go down, Kick-Ass goes down to Ash. In the meanwhile, as lots of bodies being dropped, the Jaeger's gonna take the kill onto IQ as well. So the refrag game is strong from both of these teams. But 0.8, of course, have the Jaeger playing downstairs. He's taking a bit of damage, from Heathen, as the Nomad tries to make a play happen for himself. But will he be able to? Oh, solo on HP, practically on 1, as more droning is going to come out from the Peacemakers in the while. They're going to try to make some intel, gather some intel, to make their plays happen. Nomad prone right inside of dining room as the exothermic charge. Yep, there we go. Bira is going to deny that with his UMP, but Ash goes down in the meanwhile. He's been down inside a landing, and that's a big drop right there because the Jaeger was also crucial if 0.8 wanted to win this round, and unfortunately it doesn't look like they will be just yet. But no, another drop comes out. Optica is dropped, the Thermite goes down as Flashbang is coming out, but Creighton's here with the shotgun on mute, on landing right here, right next to Aviator, and he's gonna get the kill right there. What a shot onto Heathen, shotgun to the face, as the Nomad goes down. It is now officially a 3v2 situation
Attackers have
that
recovered their
Baba
defuse.
Yaga and
Attackers
Optica
have
have to deal
located a
with.
bomb.
Shots are being fired by the SMG-11, and the Thatcher knows where that's coming from, but he has to play very careful to make sure that he doesn't get peeked from Astronomy as well. He's gonna peek Astronomy and get the kill on the Beta Baba Yaga, starting things off in this 3v2 situation as we are down to the last 30 seconds of the round, and it is all down to these last 4 operators in the map to try and make the plays happen. What a play from Baba Yaga right there. He's gonna get another one. That is Ash off the board, as it's all down to Creighton in 1v2, and which most likely will be a post plant, but he's pulling up an Optica right here. The plant has gone off, and now it's all down to the need to try and make some plays happen. He's gonna be spotted, and the kill will be confirmed right there by the Peacemakers as Optica cleans up on the last defender in the round. The 2v3 diffuser clutch right there from the Peacemakers, ensuring that they take round 2. What a round indeed from the side of the Peacemakers, because they have just pulled themselves back, making sure that Point 8 aren't allowed to get away with a massive round lead early on, which can only mean one thing. We're going to be seeing a close competition from both of these teams for the foreseeable future. Whether or not that leads into overtime, only time will tell, as we're going to be going back to Trophy here on round 3, and Heartless is going to 6-pick out from the Pulse into the Pulse. The visual mix-up trickery of Rainbow Six Siege rages on as we move to round 3 on Villa right here.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Definitely what looks to be a very exciting match, as we've got the Maestro in play this time on Trophy Statutory. And of course, we all know exactly how terrifying the Maestro can be. Just ask Mello from Team Waha, because he pulled out some big plays in the very last match, the previous match that we had today in the stream. And I'm pretty sure that Team Waha will be satisfied with his performance. We're going to be moving on to the current game between TPM and Point 8, as both of these teams look to gain a lead on each other, get that one up. Those rounds on board are always crucial for any team playing any game in the WB Black Esports Club League for Rainbow Six Siege. And once again, to stress for everybody at home, Point 8, they made their way up from the qualifiers, as the Peacemakers have been relegated from Division 2 to Division 3. Because unfortunately they were just found wanting in too many areas, and too many teams defeated them in too many matches. And lots of too many from my own match right there. But I do like to repeat myself on certain occasions. With that being said, the action phase is on its way early right here. Looks like Team Game is anticipating a first floor defense from the side of Point 8, and rightly so, because of course Toxic on the Ella right here, he is of course holding on the first floor along with Ash, who's gonna take down Strix. That's a big kill. The IQs of the board, as the Nomad is gonna be challenged by the Ella for the time being. The kill not being confirmed just yet, but the Ella goes for the peek and loses. But the Jaegers right there with the run out to go for the reflag right there. Ash making sure that he then, even if he kills Ella, is not going to leave uncontested, but he knows that there's somebody else there, and kick out on the Jackal. He's gonna push up with a shotgun, and he's gonna get downed and killed as well. The Jaegers doing some work right here. A triple kill for Ash, as he has put Peacemakers very heavily on the back foot, all down to Baba Yaga and up right here to make the plays happen for the attacking team, as they are down to a 4v2 situation. Nice and early in the round, as Heartless, he's got the pulse with the heartbeat scanner. The C4 has come out, but not going to do anything for the time being, because of course the attackers had rotated away from where the C4 went eventually. That of course doesn't mean that the side of the Peacemakers can stay safe from Pulse's heartbeat scanner, because of course he still has all the bullets in his UMP, and there we go. As the UMP fires away, trying to distract and take a couple of attackers, the Baba Yaga is going to go down to Creighton. The Maestro is going to get one, but Optica, what a shot onto Ash right there. Takes down the Jaeger and moves it into a 1v3 situation. All down to him as he's pushing Trophy, but no, peeks the wrong way, and the Maestro will get the kill. Creighton cleaning up on the last attacker, taking the last 3 kills for himself, as Point 8 win round 3. What a round indeed coming out from the side of Point 8. They've taken the lead once again in the early game right here. 2-1 in their favor going into round 4, and looks like we'll be going back to Aviator Games from the defensive team, as well. The Womai and the Jaeger combo coming out. But of course, we still have the 6-pick phase to go through. But as Foxy mentioned, how I like to stress this, it's pretty ironic that Womai was brought in as a replacement for Jaeger, and Jaeger has since been nerfed as well. But even then, both of those operators go so well with each other. But Heartless, the man is bringing out the Caveira on Villa, and we all know what happened when a Caveira was in
Defenders,
Villa
protect your
back in
bombs from
Season
being
1. The
defused by
ace
attackers.
comes to mind, and whether or not Heartless is going to pull off something similar, only time will tell. Foxy, any predictions that you have right here?
Oh, we might as well see an interrogation coming out. I mean, I would definitely love that. And who wouldn't for that matter? And Heartless making sure he's hiding so that he doesn't get spotted out. Because once you're on the radar of the attackers, it becomes almost a priority for them to make sure they hunt you down. And with the Jacqueline play from Kick-Ass, that is definitely on board. And making sure they're getting so much emphasis being done. Make sure that the defensive roam game is being shut down. But once again, we'll be seeing P8 bring out a really interesting strategy onto the hallway, and with the shield being employed, that's a double shield from Toxic AF as well as Cretin, as one shield is going to be placed onto the side of main stairs, and actually there's no shield this time around main stairs, but then again, that's really good shield placement anyway on that hallway. It's definitely denying the attacker so many lines of sight, and more than that, giving you as the defender so much advantage for that matter. We'll be seeing the Caveira using the basement to perfection. Heartless, that is going to be, as he's making sure he is undetected. That is surely going to make the attackers think for a while that who is that last defender who we haven't spotted yet on our drones, or maybe what if he's not even tagged, but you know, the attackers still do know that the Caveira being played. Heartless has got to time this right if he wants to make his Caveira play happen. He's going to stay here for the time being, only to come back from a slumber once the push has been established. Meanwhile, Strix is going to take down Toxic AF. That is your Womai taken out again. A very early kill. Once again, the same way the round one started off. Strix is going to be holding down landing. That is going to be Red Stairs. He's still got this angle established for himself. He's moving in. He's got the default cam out of the way. And the drones come out. Again, the shield is definitely going to be a changing factor, but he's getting tagged along from the bullet holes. Excuse me, that is going to be the drone hole. That is from wall. Bit of a counter peek comes in as well, while the breach is going to go down any moment now. And yes, it does, onto the wall. Kick-Ass is going to get beat up, but there's a nomad charge that is putting the Caveira a little bit. All right, he's going to bypass the nomad charge. It doesn't even matter for Heartless at this moment. There's only Ash and Cretin left alive on the side to make sure they don't give away this advantage. Ash is going to get a kill onto Strix. But the Caveira with the play is happening. He's going to get the Thatcher. Does he get anybody else? No, he's just going to fall back. When the plant is going down, Heathen is going to get another. That is going to be Ash taken out. But Cretin is making sure the Toxic Babes come alive for him. Heartless maneuvers back to Red State. He's got to make this push happen. The push comes in. He's going to get the Thermite. He's going to tag him. He's going to down him. He gets a confirmed kill as well. It's a 1 versus 2 now in the favor of Point 8. They could make this happen if only Kick-Ass decides. So let's this. Everybody's on full HP. Totally possible for both sides to win this. Cav gets tagged along, but the turnaround comes in. But the push is coming in from the smoke instead. And a double duty comes in, and that is it. Point 8, what a team play from them, and Heartless with the triple kill for himself and the perfect flank at the right time is going to secure Point 8, that third round for themselves on defense right here on Villa. And what a play from this team here. Really nice play from Point 8, I've got to say. A very well-timed flank and a very good hold on site from the anchors, and that is what has secured them the round 4. And we proceed to round 5, 1 round away from side swap.
Point 8 pulling out all the stops right here to make sure that all the rounds go in their favor, even if it is a post-plant situation. That's not going to stop them at all, as we're going to be moving into round 5, 2 rounds away from the roll swap right here, as it is a 3-1 lead in the early game for Point 8 in this match on Villa right here. First floor dining is the site that we'll be going to, and once again, Point 8, well, you just can't speak enough of them. They
Attackers
are
need to locate
some
and
of the
defuse
they
bombs.
have, excuse me, pulled out some of the best plays I've seen in some time now, and should be very, very interesting going forward from this point. The Peacemakers, in the meanwhile, of course, they've been found wanting. Even though they managed to get the plant off, they were unfortunately unable to finish off the last defenders. And we all know what happened right there. Everything, as they say, was history. As the actual phase is going to be looming over us in round 8, right? Round 5, excuse me, right here. And well, we should be seeing some insane Rainbow Six action coming to our screens, both mine and Foxy, and to the audience back home. As Mozzie, he's putting. Wait, is that Mozzie with barbed wire? I'm interested. Toxic. Is he running a Mozzie with barbed wire? That is definitely a rare sight to see, because most Mozzie players will always play the C4. And speaking of C4, Valkyrie's going to throw one out, but he's going to get shot out as he's given away his position. That is Beta, of course. But the Mozzie's here, Toxic, to support him as flashbangs are being thrown in from the Astronomy Repel by the Nomad. That is Heathen out there, who's trying to get some intel on where the Valkyrie is for the time being. He's not going to repel in, of course, as Heartless is going to take a little bit of damage from not really sure where.
Heartbeat sensor
But he's been tagged up. He's going to use the heartbeat sensor on the pulse to try and get the plays for himself, as Beta is about to be droned out here on the astronomy stairs. One drone on the red stairs doesn't seem to have spotted him, red carpet hallway, excuse me, as one more flashbang comes out, and Heartless now, he's got somebody in his sights with the cardiac sensor. He should get a C4 play in any second now. In the meanwhile, Ash is going to be sitting inside of Memorial Room. Mind you, that's Ash on Jaeger and not Ash the operator, as the Jackal pings are going out as well. One of the defenders had the unfortunate luck of being tracked by Jackal. He's going to be forced to pull back to where a defender can support him. Beta, in the meanwhile, has taken a little damage, and there we go. Opticus drone's going to be denied by the Mozzie's Pest, which threatens to take his drone away from him, as does IQ's drone right here. Strix, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose his drone and give the defenders one more piece of intel to work with. Creighton's Windjammer right here working wonders for him, as he, of course, with the SMG-11 is just waiting. And he knows, actually, I think, that somebody's on the rappel on the pantry right there. As once again, Beta, he's still here on the astronomy stairs. He's been allowed to stay here for the time being as well, which of course only means that the Peacemakers are probably digging their own graves, because they've wasted so much time trying to get operators where they haven't been able to find them. The air jab is taken out by the Valkyrie, and that doesn't seem like it was heard by whoever's up here. And Valkyrie's gonna, there we go, she's gonna find the Jackal. That's kick-ass off the board, and what a big kill right there, as it's all collapsing right now. Toxic takes on Strix. It's now a 3v5. It's a 2v5. Make that. Beta takes one. That's Baba Yaga, and the last two attackers are now caught just outside. Laundry right here. Thermites had the heart mission, but the pulse will be taken out. Actually, Optica gets a kill onto Heartless. Will he get the second one? The Jaeger's been tagged up, and yes, he does get the kill, but there we go. The remaining defenders are going to clean up. Toxic on the Moz. He will clean up on the Thermite and take out the last attacker, as Point 8 continue to dominate so far, as they've won round 5, going into round 6 4-1.
Quite the statement and the dominance coming in from the side of Point 8 here. Definitely, it's on the defense, but they're putting their rounds on board for themselves, and that is what you want to do. Round 6 is what we'll be proceeding though. 4-1 is the scoreline that we're looking at, and Point 8 might as well take this a little ahead than we are getting to watch here. They might as well get themselves that advantage of going closer to the match point as we proceed on the trophy statue duty room defense now. Once again, the castle is being brought on board, as looks like Point 8 has been really good with the setup that they're bringing so far, and Heartless is going to be reinforcing all the way onto Aviator side. Alright, looks like we are having a little bit of an extensive roam coming out from Point 8. I want to make sure that the Peacemakers are really invested in whatever Point 8 is trying to do. Meanwhile, we'll be seeing excuse me, Heartless is a little too confused here. He's just going to fall back downstairs, as that is where he wants to hold this. You can totally understand that. He's going to get the castle barricade onto the bathroom window as well. And looks like a very classic setup on how the castle is usually used when it comes to the side of a statue trophy, as we are up and running with the action phase. Heathen is going to be running the Jackal this time around, as that is usually Kick-Ass. Who does that but Kick-Ass has brought on the Nomad for themselves. And Nomad, one thing I've got to point out, so far it was, I think that was, who was playing Nomad? I cannot remember for some reason. Oh.
Well, oh dear me.
Alright, Heartless is going to lose his life by the Claymore. We did see actually somebody plays down there, but anyways, that's a free kill for the side of the Peacemakers. They're definitely going to want that. Meanwhile, Kick-Ass, so the Nomad charges being placed from the side of TPM, they've been nothing but useless. We've seen the maneuver come out twice, but look at this. Flank from Toxic AF is going to catch out Heathen. That's the third time I'm seeing Point 8 bring out the same flank. Peacemakers, for God's sake, you gotta read into what the opponents are doing, man. I mean, you cannot allow them to do that for 3 rounds in consecution. 3 kills given away on the side of TPM. As coming back to what I was saying. Nomad charges, not the Nomad charges that you would usually want them to happen, but a little bit of a miss. Flash comes in from Optic, while Bira is going to make sure he gets himself that free dispatch on the exothermic charge, while Optic is going to have to go for that again, while Bira still got another impact in his pocket. This time again, Flash is going to connect. Bira is ready for the impact trick. So my charge goes live, and Bira is going to trick that. Toxic AF is going to get himself a double kill, while Baba Yaga is here to get another, while Toxic AF is going to get one more to his liking. Kick-Ass is going to go down in the hands of the Mozzie. Commando is he's manning that gun, while Jaeger is going to get another frag for himself. It all comes down to Baba Yaga in a 1 versus 3, as Point 8 wants to go also close. What?
Whoa!
What?
Well then.
Mozzie, Toxic, what are you doing? Really? Are you kidding me right now? Alright, Toxic really bringing out some toxic plays there. Quad kill for the man himself as we proceed to round 7. 5-1 is going to be the scoreline. And the way TPM has been playing this one out, I don't see them walking out of this, man. I really don't think a comeback is possible from them. I don't know. At this point, I really don't know.
Well, given what we've seen so far, 5-1 in favor of Point 8 right here. We are very, well, I'm almost tempted to say that we're approaching the end of the game nice and quickly if these next 2 rounds go in favor of Point 8. But of course, round 7 means that the roll swap is in effect,
Attackers
which
need to
means
locate and defuse
Point 8
as
are
many
now
bombs
on
as
the
they can.
attack. And Villa, of course, is one of those maps where the attackers have to be extra careful. They have to drone just that little bit more and make sure to pick their gunfights really, really carefully. But given Point 8's history, I'm pretty sure they are looking to pull exactly that going into this next set of rounds right here. Meanwhile, the Peacemakers, I'm going to have to agree with you, Foxy. I don't think they might just be walking out of this one in one piece. Just saying, you know, it doesn't just feel like TPM have brought out their A game. They've been caught out by Point 8 on multiple occasions, especially like you said, their air jabs have been next to pointless, and they've been caught out on the same flank. They've been denied the main breach on the bedroom wall by impact tricks over and over again, and just it hasn't been the best time for the Peacemakers in this match either. We're going to see Strix on the Jaeger. He's going to make his way on the main hallway for the time being on the red carpet stairs, playing around the landing of the, I believe that's on the side of Aviator, and one on the astronomy stairs as well as Beta. He's on the thermite. He's going to be looking to make the breach happen as Ash is watching the run out from the main door. And Point 8, of course, they know what they have to do. Gather intel, play a little bit of vertical. I assume that's why the Zofia is on basement, not just roam clear, of course, because Strix, okay, then Strix is playing Wine Cellar right here, waiting for an attacker to push up, and he probably hears the Zofia right there because he's in the walking, but no, he's gonna get tagged up a little bit by the Zofia as well, and he goes for the peek. Oh no, that's an ill-advised peek right there. The Jaeger goes down, and Toxic will be taken out by, oh, Toxic will take out, excuse me, Strix, and that's a big kill because Jaeger's carbine is always something you want to have on board for the late game. The alibi, of course, is in play as well, so a little bit of bamboozling will come out from the side of TPM, but will they be able to take that and turn it in their advantage? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, Point 8, they've been quick so far to take out any roamers that they've seen, and their intel gathering has been pretty good, but will this anchor hold from the Legion, Maestro, and I believe that's Alibi, work out? Oh, and the castle as well. I believe that's everybody inside of sight, which would make for an interesting play in the last minute 13 in the round. Flashbang's going to be thrown inside of sight, and oh, what a peek from Optica. He's finally going to shut down Toxic as the Zofia goes down, and Castle's going to go for this peek into bedroom right here. He's got the shotgun in hand, and he's waiting. He knows that there's an air jab here. He can't go to run into the site of bedroom, but the main breach has happened, which of course will give the attackers just that little bit of time and mobility to rotate around and try to get him. Ash is going to catch Baba Yaga in the meanwhile. That's the Maestro off the board. Another massive kill. The Alda and the Evil Eyes are now completely off the board for the side of the Peacemakers on this defense right here. They are on a big disadvantage. 3 versus 4 in the last 30 seconds of the round. But Optics is going to get Ash equalize the man count for them as it's all down to the situation. More shots are being fired. Creighton's going to find Heathen, and that is the alibi gone as well. It's down to the castle and the Legion in the last 20 seconds of the round to try and make this play happen. And there we go. The castle goes down as well. It's all down to the Legion. Optica down here on the first floor in the main hallway. Is he going to find someone else? No, he's going to tag up Heartless as the plan is going off. But the pings are coming in, and he should get there. We go. He's got the planter at the last second. Will this be what wins in the round? No, it won't. Actually, it will. He will manage to take out the last attacker on the plant. And what a play from the Legion from underneath, saving his impacts right there and then. And the pings coming out from the rest of his teammates, making sure that the defending team of the Peacemakers get around on board to keep themselves alive here on Villa. What a play. What a play. Hats off to the Legion in that round, as we'll be moving into round 8. 5-2, still very heavily in favor of Point 8, mind you, but we're moving to Aviator Games, and unfortunately, even though Point 8's roam clear was also good in the last round, it was just found lacking
need to locate
in
and defuse
that
as many bombs
ending
as they
bit
can.
where the Legion was allowed to get away by staying on red carpet hallway of the first floor. With that being said, round 8 is of course in effect, and this match once again it looks like it might just be heating up, but that depends on whether or not Point 8 are able to shut down the Peacemakers before they're able to get away with a comeback right here. Foxy, do you think after that last round specifically, Peacemakers have a bit of a better chance?
I don't know. It did come down to a 1 versus 4 eventually, right? So it was just a 200 IQ play coming in from Optic there. That was Optic, right?
I believe it was, yes.
Yeah. So
Locate and defuse the bomb.
he really played that out to his 200 IQ play. So that did secure them the round. But will we see them do that again? Will they be allowed to do that again is the real question now. Because the comeback could definitely happen. Point 8 is still not sitting on match point. And in fact, it's 1 round away from it. And 1 round can sometimes even be a really long thing to achieve for yourself. As we did see such a nice round being played from the side of the Peacemakers. Maybe they get this conversion in. And then I might as well say, yep, the comeback is real. But for the moment, Jack, I'm going to have to say that I don't think so. It wasn't even close that round. It all came down to one single person making sure he's making the plays for his team, and that is what secured them that round. Meanwhile, we are seeing a 5-man stack up on Study. Is it a rush? Is this a rush? Flashbangs are going out already. There's no operators that essentially declare this as a rush, but Heartless is going to go in. That is your Ash. The Maestro cams are definitely spotting that out. Optic is going to be very close to that doorway. Heartless is going to take out the Maestro cam. Easy peasy for him, but the push comes in, but he's going to get caught out. Ash is here to make sure Optic gets dispatched. It's 5 versus 4 now. As it looks like Point 8 is understood at this point that we can just tag out. We don't even have to pick fights, but Heartless is going to go prone. He's going to find a frag for himself. Hart is going to get taken out by Strix, and really good play from Strix onto the red hallway. That's a 3 versus 3 now. Strix is going to get a double kill for himself. That is going to be the flank coming in from the Zofia. Gets dispatched. Breton and Bira still stationed inside study room while Ash is here to help them as well. That is the Ash on the Thatcher. Very interesting. This is exactly why I tell people to not put names for yourselves that are operators in the game. That gets all the while more confusing for you to even try. And alright, the plan is already going to go down. Bira with the plan on the reinforcement. That
Attackers are activating the diffuser.
what is there a reinforcement over there? I'm not exactly sure what TPM was thinking. But the reinforcement and the plan goes down eventually. While Creighton is going to be prone once again. Ethan is going to pick up that kill on Creighton. It all comes down essentially to Ash now. That is going to be the Thatcher. He knows he's got a really good line of sight. He's on the rappel game. He gets Ethan. Still got 2 more defenders to cut through. Defense, got to make sure they play this right. Ash on the triple kill. Does he get the quad? Onto the bandit. That is Baba Yaga. Has got to play this right. He's got to get the rappler. Where's the rappel game? Is going to be a little too far off. And that is that. Point 8. Go to match point. And huge misplay, in fact, for that matter, coming in from the side of TPM. That is exactly why you do not reinforce the wall over there. That is exactly why you, in fact, have a soft wall. Many teams even keep that wall soft and have a head level line of sight established so that stuff like that doesn't happen. And nobody can walk in through breach just like that. So, anyways, I'm gonna have to blame it on that one reinforcement, man, because it really did come down to that. Point 8, reading into exactly what I just said. They're like, all right, there's no point of going for a roam clear as well because we've got ourselves a really good advantage setup if we focus on getting the breach done and study. We get the breach done, we get the plan down. That is how easy it's going to be. And that is exactly how easy it was. Definitely did not work out in their favor. But one thing I've got to notice here is every single gunfight that Point 8 engages in the first time, they take that gunfight. All right, you know, it's just like a peekaboo and a few shots are exchanged here and then, no lives lost. And the moment they unpeak, they go prone. Every single person in Point 8 likes to go prone for some reason. I don't know. It's just prone 8 maybe. Point 8 is not the name they were looking for. But I don't know. You saw Creighton over there, he was prone. You saw Heartless, he was prone. And not only the last round, every single round I've seen them play, they establish a gunfight for themselves, and the moment they get time to hit the left control button, they hit it. It's the way Point 8 has been playing so far. Definitely is going to help. Has been helping them in their gunplay as well, and that is what you need. I mean, 6-2 is going to be the scoreline as TPM are just not being able to stand up to what Point 8 is doing here.
Absolutely not. And, well, as you said, Foxy, that one round that they got in between, which was round 7, it did in fact come down to the 1v4, and it was the Legion's 200 IQ play using the intel that he got from the rest of his team that managed to pull the round out. But again, when it comes down to the man count and to how Point 8 played that round, it was spectacularly immaculate, and they have shown exactly why they are really good at fragging their brains out. That is what they decided in the last round, and we saw them, you know, take that round with gusto. But, you know, if I had to make like a meme out of the Peacemakers last round, right? I'd probably, they're probably thinking like they had an advantage, they had a thing going, right? They wanted to get some momentum, and it all came down to one metal wall that just completely ended up shutting them down. I know it's a bit crude to say it that way, but come on, can you blame me? I'm a memer. As Strix is going to take down Heartless in the meanwhile, the Bandit gets the first kill, and the Ash, the operator Ash, is off the board for the side of Point 8. Flashbang has been thrown in by Creighton in the meanwhile. He's going to make sure to try and make this push as comfortable as he can for the rest of the team. And the window break from the top floor is... I'm not sure who broke that window, or maybe that was Thermite breaking the window in the Memorial Small Room. We'll never know. In the meanwhile, bedroom window has already been broken, of course. There was a second floor, somewhat emphasis from the side of Point 8 initially, as Beta looks like he's going to be going for the exothermic charge right here, but Optica sitting with his impact grenades, and the first exothermic charge will be denied, and now the Thermite knows that they're playing with these sorts of tactics, impact tricks to deny thermite charges, and the C4 comes out, but Creighton will find Strix as he's injured on Toxic in the meanwhile. Beta's going to be down, and oh my god, the number of bodies that are dropping also quickly, but Baba Yaga's there to make sure that it doesn't go down all the way. The Maestro has dropped a couple bodies himself, which means it's a 1v2 effectively because the thermite is down inside of Laundry for the time being, leaving Creighton the only man alive for his team. But Thermite might just be picked up right here, making it a 2v2, but leaving both attackers on considerably low HP right here. Creighton making sure Bira is in adequate cover before going for the revive and picking him back up to 20 HP, but the evil eye of Maestro is still in play right here, which could of course be the very game changer that the Peacemakers need. We're less than 10 seconds left in the round, as it's all down to this play from both teams right here, as the Evil Eye and the Goomans are going to take a Thermite, and it's all down to the Nomad, and he's going to be taken out as well as Kickoff takes out Creighton, and the Peacemakers, they still manage to keep themselves alive by winning round 9. A good set of refrags coming in from both teams, ultimately ending in the victory for the Peacemakers, but still 0.8 are in the match point and 3 rounds heavily in the lead right here. It still looks like a game that they are poised to take. And I mean, yeah, all right. Let me be really like blunt here for a second, right? The Peacemakers, they're here in Division 3 because they were relegated from Division 2, right? That's one reason already to have a bit of a skepticism when thinking they might go for a comeback. As well, along with that, 0.8, we saw them pull out some amazing plays back in the qualifiers, and they have sped their way through and found themselves here in Division 3, and they'll be looking to make their plays and make their
Defenders, protect
make
your bombs
themselves
from being
known
defused
and
by
go
attackers.
over to Division 2 by the end of the season. Of course, the end of the season is once again a long way away. This is just the first day of division plays from the WD Black Esports Club League, which means that there's 3 whole weeks worth of Rainbow Six play from all the 3 divisions that we have. And you know, it's a long road to go for all of the teams that are in the division rosters here in this league system. With that being said, we are on round 10 right here, as it is still 6-3 match point in favor of 0.8, and they'll be looking to shut down the Peacemakers once and for all so that they cannot get another round in and make a statement, because of course 0.8 just wants to get this done and over with. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how 0.8 makes their plays known in this round. Going forward from here. In the action phase is in effect. Heartless is of course on the IQ, and Toxic was already shooting somewhere, not really sure where. Oh, okay. He was shooting down the main door of the garage area on basement to make his entryway there once again. We did see him enter there a couple rounds ago back when TPM were on Trophy. And now that we're back on Trophy, it looks like it'll be the same push once again from that Zofia as well.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Last touches to the defense being put in by the Peacemakers, as they want to make sure that they have everything picture perfect, and they've got their rhythm set and ready for this push for 0.8. In the meanwhile, one of the Nomad charges is going to be caught out by Wamai's magnets, as unfortunately not enough flashbangs being used to deny the magnets and ADSs sitting inside a bedroom. As once again, Kick-Ass, of course, he's here with the castle inside of Statutory. He's going to be impact checking the exotic charge of the Thermite, and Beta, he's going to be all too aware of that because the Peacemakers have been playing that exact tactic so far, and they have been too. Like, we saw 0.8 do that a couple of times as well, so very interesting to see the way they're going to try and counter this, as one of Thatcher's main keys as well is going to be caught out by the magnet of Wamai. Oh, the impact comes up. The second one, the third one as well. Legion, I believe that is. Yeah, Optica threw his impact as they finally managed to deny the exothermic charge from the Thermite. Thermite trying to bait them into throwing their other one, as he's going to throw another flashbang in and make sure that he can get the breach off. But Castle's just sitting there waiting and ready to deny him accordingly. And he does. Alrighty then. A good play from the side of TPM is going to deny the side of point 8 the hard breach onto the wall of bedroom, which will of course shorten out their push as Heathen goes down. But Optica is going to be there to take down Ash, the operator, and Toxic has gone down as well in the meanwhile. And the Nomad goes down too. It's a 5v2 all of a sudden as Optica's on a triple kill. He's on a rampage right here this round. The Legion is sitting nice and easy as the IQ goes down as well. Baba Yaga takes down. Heartless is all down to the last operator, Bira the Thermite, who isn't even inside of the building as we have just crossed the 30-second mark of the round right here. And it's pretty much an impossible situation for this Thermite to play in the 1v5 ace clutch situation. He has to go for the counter, for the defuse as well, because he doesn't have the diffuser and no time either. Shots are being fired from on top of the astronomy stairs and the vertical lines of sight. As TPM, they don't want to extend, of course. They want to make sure that they get the kill sitting comfortably from their point that they have made for themselves as the Maestro goes down, but too little too late for Bira, as the time will run out and the Peacemakers stay alive once again, winning round 10 right here. It is still match point, mind you, for the side of point 8, but as Foxy said oh so long ago, one round can be a mountain to climb, and looks like point 8 so far have found this mountain a bit challenging, but nothing that they won't be able to take care of, hopefully, because they would, of course, want to win this game as fast as possible. And the Peacemakers, of course, are looking to extend however long they manage to stay alive for in this match right here.
Well, looks like the Peacemakers might as well be on their climb to the comeback. Like I said, you asked me a few rounds ago, I was like, maybe if TPM gets this round for themselves, maybe yeah. And they've gotten 2 after that, and really good play from them so far. 6-4 is going to be the scoreline that we're looking at here, as TPM are on their way to make this comeback. Make it a possibility, definitely a reality. Let us see if that is what happens. We'll be back to the Aviator Games room. This is exactly where TPM got shut down by point 8. And let me just see if that wall is reinforced. Alright, this time it is not. Thank you, TPM. Finally, learning from your mistakes, understanding that why you don't have to reinforce that wall, making sure that the reinforcement doesn't come in, and indeed, really good play from TPM so far, but it only stands to see if all that hard work that they're trying to do in this comeback is going to matter or not. It's going to come down to these 2 rounds. We're going to witness here round 10 and round 11 and round 12 for that matter. Kick-Ass has got himself a really nice shield. He's got the magnets to make sure he stalls point 8 into taking that shield away. Ash is going to be on Zofia. He's got his lifelines, the impact nades on the lifeline as well. That can definitely take the shield out anytime he wants to. But oh, the peak comes in. Oh, alrighty then. Ash is going to take Kick-Ass, heads away. A 1-tap to the head as the pixel eventually connects. And what a play from Ash, spotting the Wamai and stopping him right in his tracks. There, really good emphasis and really good use of that angle that we got to see, as Toxic is going to be doing his due duty as a buck. He's making sure enough reconstruction is done from downstairs, as the IQ is there to accompany him as well. A really nice opening frag coming in from the side of point 8. It's definitely going to change things up. The Maestro Cam is going to get dispatched as well, and good use of utility. Once again, point 8 doing everything that TPM did not in attack. Every single utility is being used here. While Bandit is getting prepped for a possible Bandit trick coming up, while Optic is there to make sure he gets his impact trick done. Ambira is going to be breaching the same wall once again. Breach goes out, impact doesn't connect, and the breach will be successful. Baba Yaga, meanwhile, is going to connect his skill onto Ash. That is going to be a Zofia dispatch. It's a 4 versus 4 now. The defense in a bit of a bad spot, but Heathen is here to make sure that he collects a kill for himself onto Toxic, and Heartless is here to make sure he gets the refrag onto Heathen. 3 versus 3. Not sure where this fight is going down, but definitely Optic is the one who's in a really bad spot at this moment. Vira is going to go out on his own, and actually Crichton is going to go on his own as well, as everybody is just they're just running around trying to find some information for themselves, while Optic is going to hold this down. He does get spotted. He's going to move back. He's got the nomad shot, so he cannot push. No impacts to take that nomad shot for himself, and that is what is going to keep him here. But look at that peek from Admiral. Strix is going to drop one, and Optic onto another. It all comes down to Heartless. And a 1 versus 3 all of a sudden. A 3 versus 3 suddenly in the hands of the Peacemakers, and they're going to win it as well. What? Peacemakers, the comeback is happening. They're here, 5-6. All they need is another round for themselves, and they take this to overtime. And what is going on, Blackjack? Are we seeing overtime coming up on the first day itself of Season 2? Point 8 do still sit on match point, but it's only this one round that is all going to boil down to 6-5 is the score. 1 round to TPM, and we go to overtime. But 1 round to point 8, and they take the match away. What are your predictions, Blackjack? TPM surprising the hell out of me. What is going on?
Well, first I would like to say I think TPM hurt you, Foxy. When you were saying that you don't think that they might walk out of this in one piece, they heard the both of us, and they're like, oh, is that so? The casters don't think we can win this. Well, that's not a comeback right here, boys, as we are here 6-5 match point. I don't really have any predictions after what we saw right there, because
Defenders,
at
protect
this
your
point,
bombs from
if I
being defused by
want to
attackers.
say, like, if I say point 8 are going to win, we might see overtime. And of course, don't get me wrong, overtime is always an exciting place to be as a caster, because it just means that we are going to be seeing a ridiculously high level of skill in a Rainbow Six competitive game. But
You
one
mean
round-
try hard level, right? You mean we're going to see a ridiculous level of try hard coming in from both the teams? But yeah, then again, some jokes here and there. Yes, you were saying something, Blackjack.
What I was basically saying is, okay, Maestro, calm down. You know, we know you're putting down an evil right there, but calm down, my man. As we are going to be moving into round 12. 1 round is all come down to this, and as Foxy pointed out, 1 round to point 8 is victory, and 1 round to Peacemakers is the overtime secured. Whether or not we're going to see the overtime, of course, remains to be said. As, I mean, honestly speaking, overtime is a fun concept. As Foxy said, we see a lot of try hard, a lot of display of skill, a lot of sweating as well, you know. I'm pretty sure somebody's room gets flooded, you know, it's jokes again. But it's always in good fun, of course. Remember, a game that you're playing is not worth it if you're not having fun playing it, and that stands true for every single game in existence. And as we see, Crichton, he pulled out his Claymore twice. I think he got his buttons confused there. EMP or Claymore, he was thinking, wait, that's not my EMP. That's not my EMP again. Okay, there we go. As he finally got it down, as they're going to be looking to make the breach happen, but Optica sitting behind a Goyo shield right here in dining room. He knows that there's a couple of people face checking this exact area, and he's going to be pre-firing away to try and get these kills for himself. Heathen, in the meanwhile, he's gone down to the Memorial small room window. He's broke it for just a bit, but he's not going to be manning that defense for the time being. Kick-ass in the meanwhile. He's on the roam, joined by his German mother. No! The Maestro goes down as the Ash tried to rush in, but no. Ash on the Ash has been refragged onto by Optica once again. That man has been doing so much work for the side of the Peacemakers on this defensive side right here. As we're seeing the sledge open up multiple angles, with the sledgehammer right here, and the IQ, he's got the RD scanner out, trying to find somebody taking out defender utility as well as, you know, just doing IQ things. But the Jaeger is still above. He's on the 2nd floor, completely uncontested for the time being, as the C4 comes out from Heathen, but it will not deny the thermite charge that was placed on that double wall right there of Laundry. Goyo finally managing to take that shield. Oh dear me, that was a lot of shots expended for not a whole lot of action, as Heartless is going to take an Optica. That's a big kill, the Legions of the board. But more than that, it's Optica who's gone, and he then goes down as well. And it's all down to a 1v4 all of a sudden. It's all down to Strix on the bandit sitting inside a Memorial, and he'll be taken out as well, as point 8 in a flurry of kills will secure round 12. And they will not let TPM go for this overtime comeback. They will finally stop TPM dead in their tracks, winning Villa 7-5. Oh dear me, TPM will certainly be feeling very disheartened after that, mounting such a brilliant comeback. Look at the kill set, but on the meanwhile for Ash, it's 18 kills for him, while the rest of it was 7-7-8-8, if I'm not wrong, shared between his teammates. That is something, and Optica himself as well, of course, doing a lot of heavy lifting for his team, especially in the second half of the game. But with that being said, that was the game on Villa, the third and last game of tonight. That is day 1 of Division 3 in Season 2. Villa goes to point 8-7-5. And with that being said, of course, that's going to be it from me, Blackjack, and my co-caster admin, Foxy. Foxy, any closing thoughts on today's matches?
I really wanted to see TPM make that comeback, man. For a moment, I was really rooting for them. But then again, Pointed really took their time to get that victory for themselves. Eventually got it. And here we are, 7-5. And that does conclude the day 1 for the WD Black, the Esports Club Rainbow Six Siege League at the Division 3 for Season 2. We'll be back again tomorrow with the Division 3 matches. And make sure that you're subscribed to the Esports Club on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, as well as all the fixtures, all the schedules, all the stream matches will be updated there. You'll know exactly what matches are going to happen today, what matches are going to happen tomorrow, what matches and what fun that we're bringing to you from the side of Rainbow Six Siege. But that'll be it from me and Blackjack, and that is it. Make sure you guys stay indoors. Make sure you're still practicing social distancing. We know for a fact that relaxations have been offered by the government, but you gotta stay safe in these times. And with that being said, make sure you watch the league that we have running here. I'm Foxtrot, and joining me is Blackjack, and that'll be it from us today. Have a good night.
The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a 0 becomes a 1, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD Black NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.